Part 13. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 121. Gu Wenzu stood up abruptly, his pupils contracted violently, and the fingers holding the computer were white and trembling from the force. The secretary had never seen this old man so rude before, and was startled. "Teacher Gu." It turned out to be her. Gu Wenzu murmured, "It turned out to be her." In an instant, as if he had lost all his strength, he fell back into his seat. The secretary was about to reach out to help, but Gu Wenzu stopped him. "Leave this email, you can go out." "Yes, teacher." The secretary withdrew, still very confused about what Gu Wenzu saw. Gu Wenzu calmed down for a while, and then opened the attachment of the email. Inside are two designs. Not only did it mark the dimensions of the human body, etc., but also specifically wrote what materials should be used in places, and even written which designers were needed to do the work, so detailed that it couldn't be more detailed. After Gu Wenzu read it, he snorted slightly. "Only you stinky girl can do such a thing." Few people in the outside world really know that Yun Lan is still the core designer of Lan. Ian's core designer can count on a slap. Yun Lan only designed 10 outfits, 5 for each male and female. These 10 sets of clothing are all single copies, 3 of which are still hidden in the museum at Ian's headquarters, and the remaining sets have been bought back and treasured by top leaders in various fields. Gu Wenzu frowned at the email address, pondered for a moment, and called Zero's hotline. After connecting there, he stabilized his voice. "Hello, I'm Gu Wenzu." "Hello Mr. Ancient," the operator asked with concern, "is there anything you need help with?" "Help me check the IP address of an email." "This IP address sent me a file, but it was encrypted," Gu Wenzu said. "I want to know where it is located." Year after year, Yunlan disappeared for 5 years. Gu Wenzu thought at the time, could it be because she was so famous that she was accepted by Liberty Island? But he was fortunate to have been to Liberty Continent once 2 years ago, and none of the stars there could match Yunlan. All the news fell into disrepair. Until now. "Please wait a moment," the operator said. "Please keep the computer running, and we will transmit the inquired data later." "Okay." Gu Wenzu let out a slow sigh of relief. "Excuse me. It's right to protect your safety, Mr. Gu," the operator said softly. "Thank you for choosing Zero, and we look forward to seeing you next time." Although the Zero and T18 are very incompatible, they coincide in some things. Not only responsible for intelligence collection, but also to protect key populations. Gu Wenzu's influence in the fashion industry is too high, and there are many people who want to target him. In less than a minute, the data was sent over by Zero. Without specific coordinates, it can only be determined that the sender is in Daxia. Gu Wenzu frowned. The Daxia Empire has a vast territory. What is the difference between finding someone and finding a needle in a haystack? But even so, he must go. Gu Wenzu immediately packed his things, asked his secretary to book a flight to Daxia for him, and hurriedly took the elevator downstairs. "Isn't that Mr. Ancient?" Mel just came out of the dressing room. His eyes were sharp, and he blurted out, "What's wrong with Mr. Ancient? Where are you going?" The secretary who followed was also a little confused. After a few seconds of delay, he said dumbly, "Just now, Mr. Gu asked me to book a ticket for the nearest flight to Daxia." "Daxia?" Mel was taken aback. Why did Mr. Gu go to Daxia at this time? It seems that there are no fashion shows or film festivals in the summer. The secretary shook his head. How could they possibly understand the matter of Gu Wenzu? At this time, it was already 2 o'clock in the middle of the night in the Daxia Empire. Chu Lingyun is still working. Because of Sci-fucking, he occasionally looks at Weibo now, and his target is still Sci-fucking's black fans. Until a phone call broke the silence. "You idiot," Gu Wenzu reprimanded, "going to Daxia is so lonely, why do I want you?" As soon as Chu Lingyun answered the phone, he was scolded like a dog, and the second monk was confused. "Teacher, what are you scolding me for?" "It's useless for me to scold you," Gu Wenzu sneered and swears. "Alan is in Daxia, how the hell did you not even find a shadow?" Chu Lingyun lost his voice. "What did you say?" "I'll be there at noon." Gu Wenzu was annoyed. "Come over and pick me up at the Sijukan airport, and let me pack you up first." Chu Lingyun is the pro teacher. He's in his 30s, and he's still being treated like this. Chu Lingyun was helpless, so he could only immediately book a night ticket to fly to Sijukan. I don't know who is a workaholic. The next morning, Pei Yan rushed back from abroad and invited a master. The Pei family's situation in the past 2 days was very bad. The capital chains of several subsidiaries were all broken, and all the orders were signed by other companies. If you can't turn around urgently, you can last for 2 more days at most. As soon as 2 days pass, not only will the Pei family's companies disappear, but Pei Yan will also be pulled down from the position of chairman by the side branch. The middle-aged man looked at the layout of the entire room, and then looked at the ashes and shackles dug up from several bedrooms. Pei Yan asked, "Master, how is it?" "Mr. Pei, there is no way." The middle-aged man shook his head again and again. "This is a dead end, and it has lasted for at least 10 years. I am sorry for the incompetence. It is really powerless. I will leave first." Pei Yan frowned. He didn't believe at first that a young girl could achieve more than a real master in this field. But reality is enough to prove everything. After Sci-fi took away the things in Pei Menzies' room that day, Pei Menzies' state obviously returned to normal. "Then this Miss Si is really amazing." Pei Yan exhaled slowly. "We must be honored as guests, prepare things, and go now." "Master Si doesn't have time at this time." Madame Pei glared at him. "We don't get off work until 6 o'clock, so don't disturb them. Quickly think about whether there is anything in our family that can please Miss Si." "I think about it." Pei Yan looked serious. "I remember that the old man left a few pieces of ancient jade, which are still locked in the safe. Money is indeed too vulgar for the masters, and it is basically useless." "Yes." Mrs. Pei also remembered. "Quick, take out these pieces of ancient jade and send them to Miss Si at night." "Mom, don't be too hasty." Pei Menzi finally had time to speak. "Miss Si may not be able to see it." Mrs. Pei said firmly, "That's also sent there. It's a pity that I didn't have a good son, and I'm not worthy of others. Otherwise, I'll send my son first." She looked at Pei Menzi with disgust and went upstairs to get the safe. Pei Yan turned his head and hesitated. "I don't think your mother's symptoms have improved. Didn't all the trees in the yard be cut down?" Pei Menzi, after watching the performance yesterday, she is already a fan of Miss C's brain. Pei Yan. "What?" The other side. Si, who had just arrived at the training base, received a life-threatening serial call from Chu Lingyun. As soon as she was connected, she heard Chu Lingyun say excitedly, "You know, Yunlan is in Daxia." Si. She knows. Or her exposed coordinates. Si touched his chin. "But I found out so quickly, wouldn't I use 0 or T18? Wait, I'll receive my teacher in a while, and then I'll go find her." Chu Lingyun said quickly, "When you find me and introduce the two of you to each other, she has a very strong network in the entertainment industry, and she is very strong, let her fly with you." Si. She could indeed take herself a fly. Si suddenly lowered his voice, "Your teacher is here in person." "Yeah, he told me." Chu Lingyun said. "He scolded me." Si took a deep breath. Why is he running around at such a young age? Although the old man is in his 70s, he is in good health and can run 5 kilometers, not to mention it has something to do with the demon King Yun. "No." Chu Lingyun paused, his eyes changed instantly. "How do you know my teacher's age?" "Big." Not many people in the outside world know that he is Gu Wenzu's student. Guess I fucking said lightly, don't worry too much when you're older, just leave it to you. Chu Lingyun. Why did he hear this so wrong? What if you can't find her? I fucking paused, the Great Xia Empire is so big, how do you find it? Just wait until you can't find it, Chu Lingyun said slowly, she will always come back. I fucking fell silent, then smiled, yes. She did come back. Okay, I won't bother you anymore. Chu Lingyun glanced at the time, I have to pick up the old man. Fu nodded. She looked at her phone and sighed. It seems that sometimes it is necessary to break the beautiful salted fish life. Teacher the staff knocked on the door and called her, I need you and several other tutors to announce the ranking. Fucking returned to his senses and returned to his languid look, come on. The overall ranking of this issue of Youth and Youth came out last night. Xiaoyu was still firmly in the first place, Lu Yan was thrown farther and farther, and was even surpassed by Yekinju. Su Ziun successfully squeezed into the top 15 and reached the 12th position. Before that, he didn't even dare to think about it. In the second performance of 55 Jin 36, more than a dozen trainees will leave the stage. Among them is Yan Yuan's, who stepped on the line to advance last time. This time, he ranked out of 50 and was eliminated directly. Yan Yuan's began to pack his things. Yo, moved things, and left. Su Ziun folded his arms, don't you want to debut? Why did you get eliminated in the second round? It's a shame. Yan Yuan's face flushed, Su Ziun, don't be complacent. I'm not happy, I'm happy when I see you being eliminated. Su Ziun grimaced, you deserved it when you not only looked down on teacher Si, but also stepped on her. Yan Yuan's was so angry that his whole body trembled, your brokerage company is going to close down, and you have to get out. It won't make you worry about it. Su Ziun snorted coldly, I tried my best anyway. Then there is no regret. Yan Yuan's glanced at him bitterly, and was very unwilling to put the mattress and quilt in the suitcase. But he was regretful in his heart. If he didn't forcefully ask to leave fucking's class, why would he not be able to make it to the end? Too bad it's too late now. Brother Xie, this is cool. Su Ziun returned to the dance studio. Yan Yuan's was finally eliminated, he thought he was very powerful. Xiaoyu didn't speak, just took the phone and pressed the number. Su Ziun was curious, who are you calling? Home, greetings. Xiaoyu looked lazy, by the way, find someone to do something. Oh, Su Ziun nodded, I never asked brother Xie where your family is from. Xiaoyu thought about it seriously, well, I can only say that my mother's job is probably wandering around and she can't go home for a month. Su Ziun was very confused. What job requires wandering around? It seems that brother Xie is worse than him, and he is home to the world. Su Ziun comforted him, brother Xie, you will be developed soon, don't worry. Xiaoyu glanced at him and shrugged. Anyway, Su Ziun's brain circuit will never be the same as normal people. The internet is still hotly discussing this performance, and show fans are looking forward to the next performance. Is teacher Si going to attend the next issue in person? I can't wait, I want to know what else she will do. There is nothing that teacher Si can't do. Yes, Si fucking does everything in person, but it's amazing, immortal instructor, how awesome. But do you still remember that the third performance was to invite star seniors to cheer? I just asked her if she doesn't have any connections in the entertainment industry. Would you let her try it out in person? Is it possible to invite someone to help Xiaoyu and the others? The first joke in the book, Goddess Si has no connections. Everyone's comments are being read, because I'm too busy to reply one by one, but I'll read it carefully. Thank you for supporting the genuine baby, the data of this book is not very good, thanks to you still there, see you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 122. Youth has a total of 10 episodes, and now the 6th episode has ended, and the ranking has almost been determined. The competition system was announced on the entire network long before the show started, so show fans know what will be broadcast in each episode. The third public performance is the third to last program, which is only half a month. Several hot trainees are discussing in the super chat, which stars will help in the third stage performance. Xiaoyu can be said to be very popular, but it is still limited to the draft circle and is still in its infancy. As long as there is a first-line star to help out, the popularity will definitely skyrocket again. Are you really funny? Is it your turn to worry? Who is invited to see who is invited by the program group? What does it have to do with teacher SI? How do you know that your sister has no connections in the entertainment industry? Be careful who she invites, scare you to death. Just when the black, red, and pink sides were fighting, the program team issued an announcement. At Youth V, the QM orchestra left the program group without our consent, which has caused huge mental losses to us. We have decided not to cooperate anymore, and hereby declare. All of a sudden, Xiaoyu's fans join the battlefield. Has anyone heard of this QM band? You ran away without authorization, and even slapped the internet saying that we, had a bad temper and forced you to leave? I haven't heard it before. The small band, reversed black and white, are you being slapped in the face now? Orchestra without integrity should stop cooperating, and be careful of being put on pigeons. Indeed, as soon as the youth program group released the statement, there is absolutely no party in the QM orchestra that will cooperate. The leader of the band was a young man. He entered the TNL media headquarters in a rage and asked, "Manager Luo, this is what you said, let's leave the venue before the upcoming performance, and let Xiaoyu's group have no accompaniment group. Why don't you guys agree with the show? Let the team ventilate and blame the Xiaoyu team for this responsibility." He fucking and the others would naturally say that they had to leave because of the pressure from above. But for the outside world, it is natural to take all responsibility off. Manager Luo didn't care at all. Didn't I give you money? You agreed to do it too. It's too late to say this now, isn't it? The youth clenched his fists and gritted his teeth, but now all our notices are gone. Just now, the manager of their band told him indifferently that all the performances that the QM band participated in this year were cancelled. They are not really stars, they make money by playing accompaniment to others. This is obviously equivalent to breaking their way of life. It's only natural to take money to do things. Manager Luo became impatient. What does it have to do with me if you don't consider the consequences yourself? Is there anything wrong with the show crew? No, you didn't communicate with them. The youth looked at Manager Luo in disbelief. You. I also advise you. Manager Luo took a sip of tea and said calmly, everyone is in the same circle, you are just broken in your career now. If you insist on going against us, it will be more than just a career. The youth's expression changed. He remembered the news about TNL media in the circle and its usual style, and in the end he just clenched his fists and left unwillingly. Manager Luo frowned at the door. The increasing popularity of youth is indeed what TNL media wants to see. But the rising popularity shouldn't be on Xiaoyu. Manager Luo expected that fucking's elbow would turn out, but he didn't expect it to be so powerful. In the past, fucking was unsatisfactory, and she could blame the company for not caring about her. It seems that we really have to think of a way to control the arrogance of fucking. Manager Luo put down the teacup and instructed his assistant lightly, go and call Feng Piazi for me. Su Yang's private studio is here. Su Yang naturally saw the discussion on the internet about the third performance. He called fucking and said, hello? Are you going to invite stars to help out in this talent show? Then I'll stay in Linkhung for a while. Ah, there is this link, fucking lazily said, but you can't go on this one. Su Yang frowned, why? Your influence is too great, SI fucking said. The so-called support focuses on this help. I also consider whether to invite you again, but it is estimated that the fans will all see you by then, and no one will be there. I care about the performance of the students. Asking Su Yang does have the effect of blowing the sky, but it will have the opposite effect by covering up the aura of the group in the class. Yes, Su Yang thought for a moment. The number 1 trainee under your command is very powerful, and his talent is terrifying. Xia Yu is the only one who can make Su Yang, who is also a talented musician, say such words. Naturally, Si fucking snapped his fingers. My goal for him is to be top-notch when he debuts. Be careful he catches up with you. We're not in the same field, Su Yang smiled. If you catch up, catch up. He's at the top and it will help you too. I don't need this. Si fucking didn't care, but the weather in Linkhung is about to get hotter, so pay attention to your leg protection. When the call ended, Si fucking leaned back on the soft chair. The next episode is in the form of recording and broadcasting, and she can lie down again. The perfect mentor life. Until the door to the lounge was knocked. Mr. Si, I'm sorry, the photographer looked carefully. Can we come in and take some daily tidbits? The attitude of the entire program team has changed a lot, and no one will disrespect Si fucking. Again, Si fucking turned his head. I'm resting. The photographer was very embarrassed. This teacher Si, then we have nothing to shoot for others. Okay, Si fucking didn't embarrass him. 10 minutes, no more. Thank you, Mr. Si. The photographer walked in and set up the camera. Teacher Si, please, let's just take pictures. He didn't expect that Si fucking's request was to close his eyes and lean on the chair to rest. Photographer. Fans in the live broadcast room. Sleep live. Si fucking, I still have to look at you. It's enough to see the face. I'm very satisfied. 2 minutes later, the door was knocked again. Excuse me, Mr. Si. This time it was the staff who came. Miss John came to see you. Huh? Si fucking finally opened his eyes. Come in. Zhang Changning came in with a bag. Fans are excited again. Ning 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 ning. Thanks Mr. Si for letting me see the fresh Ning Ning. Si fucking and Zhang Changning definitely came out of the same group. You don't even want to see what the business will be like. Okay, all star chasing people still don't understand what an entertainment company looks like. The resources are all concentrated on Meng Shui. What can others say? Haven't you forgotten what position Mr. Si was in youth at that time? TNL Media asked her to take this show with the intention of destroying her, but she didn't expect teacher Si to stand up. TNL Media was probably mad. Zhang Changning has a light face, and his temperament is also very cold. Under Si fucking's intentional restraint, she was not overwhelmed by Yan. The black fans were stunned that they could not find a point where they could sow discord. Zhang Changning looked at the camera and hesitated. What about the live broadcast? Well, just pat for a while. Si fucking patted the sofa. Come on, sit. At this time, the photographer whispered, Mr. Si, fans hope you can interact with Miss Zhang, such as hug and dance or something. Hug. Si fucking moved his wrist. Sure. She didn't wait for Zhang Changning to walk over. She stepped forward and hugged Zhang Changning across the waist. Zhang Changning. Is Si fucking a strange girl? Although she looks thin, but because of her high body fat rate and muscles, her weight is in the triple digits. The fans in the live broadcast room were stunned. This boyfriend power? I don't know if I should call my wife or husband. Take a closer look at her arm muscle lines. She is absolutely thin, but not woody, the perfect figure I envy. I want to touch it. Si fucking also walked very steadily. After putting Zhang Changning on the sofa, he went back unhurriedly. Okay, that's the end of the day. She held down the camera. Let's see you again. The photography team also reluctantly retreated and closed the door. Si fucking sat down. Why are you here at this time? Well, I brought something for you. Jiang Changning took out a few boxes from his bag. My family came to see me yesterday and brought some Chinese medicine. It's good for your health. I'll give you some. As soon as the box is opened, the medicine smells strong. Sci-Fucking's eyes suddenly deepened. If she saw it well, although the herbs Jiang Changning brought her were very common, they could definitely be bought in ordinary Chinese medicine stores. But it is obvious that the efficacy is dozens of times more than ordinary. The old man told her a long time ago that it is nothing to grow a genius treasure, but to grow ordinary medicinal materials into a panacea, that is really powerful. Sci-Fucking pinched a stick of ginseng and fell into silence. It's called, a farmer? Farmer, farmer. Medicine god, farmer. Okay, so it makes no difference. Sci-Fucking didn't ask, just smiled. Thank you Ning Ning, you are really kind to me. Reciprocity. Jiang Changning said, the jar of hand cream you gave me is very useful. It must be expensive, right? It's okay. Sci-Fucking brows lazily, it's just a little troublesome to make. I still have a few cans here, and I'll give them to you. Jiang Changning was not polite to her and accepted it. The day after tomorrow, we're going to Machin. Jiang Changning frowned, the plane ticket is with me, and the company from the program team has asked you to take leave, but you don't have to go, there will be people gossiping online. I often take leave to participate in other activities, and I will not like which program group I change to. TNL Media did this to make Sci-Fucking's reputation worse, and she could be accused of not doing her job properly at that time. Unexpectedly, the plan was approved very happily. As long as Sci-Fucking came back before the third performance, it would be fine. After all, the popularity of the show depends on Sci-Fucking. Let's go, I just went to Machin for a walk. Sci-Fucking made an okay gesture, but I have to tell my boss. Mexico City is the capital city of Zhengzhou and a central international city. Although the three major families did not show up very much, the city lord of Mo City was still the Mo family. By the way, she can go there to find some hidden weapons. Okay. Jiang Changning got up, then I won't disturb you, see you in the morning. Sci-Fucking waved his hand. After resting for a while, she went to the dance studio, handed over the new training plan to Xiaoyu, and recorded the dance of the song to be performed in the third public performance. The salted fish lay down until 6 o'clock, and Sci-Fucking got off work on time. At 5 o'clock, the three members of the Pei family were waiting outside. When he saw Pei Menzi, Sci-Fucking glanced at him. Why are you here again? Your danger has been lifted, and I also received your payment, so you never knew me. How can this work? Pei Menzi was anxious. Miss Si, I can still make more money. Sci-Fucking pushed the car, no need. Miss Si, hello. Pei Yan pressed Pei Menzi's shoulders and stepped forward. I'm Pei Menzi's father, Pei Yan. Hello. Sci-Fucking nodded calmly, without showing any superfluous expressions. Pei Yan is naturally the top group in the Linkhong business circle. He has the shrewdness that has been immersed in the business market for many years, and other family daughters will inevitably be restrained when they see him. But when he saw Sci-Fucking, it was himself who was tied. Miss Si, I've caused you trouble. Pei Yan bowed deeply. I know it's too late to apologize now, but I still want to say, I'm very grateful to Miss Si for saving my unworthy son. Pei Menzi responded very quickly, Dad, how can you use cheap to say Mom, you are too much. He doesn't look good to his mother lately, and he wants his dad to get some firepower. Learn some more, Madame Pei shouted angrily. The cheapness in the word cheap is that your father said himself. My ancestors don't know the knowledge, how could I have given birth to an idiot who can only see your face? Pei Menzi. Oops, failed to transfer hatred and attracted even more hatred. Pei Yan was a little embarrassed, glared at Pei Menzi and asked Mrs. Pei to take out a delicate rosewood box. Miss Si, this is an ancient jade passed down from my family. Pei Yan respected it very much. Miss Si saved Mengji, please accept it. No wonder, I explained that it is a deadly trapped beast situation, and your family can still survive until now. Si fucking raised his eyebrows, your ancestors also have something to find such jade. Pei Menzi looked at these pieces of cold jade hard for a long time, but he really didn't see anything special. Miss Si is not a vulgar and superficial person, so taking money is an insult to Miss Si. Pei Yan deeply respected, Miss C's mind is beyond me. Si fucking. No, she is vulgar and superficial, and she loves money. I've already received 5 million for saving your son, and this ancient jade is my reward for helping your family. Si fucking said lightly, Mrs. Pei has already apologized to me on the internet, I don't care, your feng shui layout affects people's temperament. Mrs. Pei breathed a sigh of relief, thank you, Miss Si. The phone rang at this moment, and Pei Yan picked it up. Just after listening, his face changed, what? Well, I know, I'll go right over. Mrs. Pei was also anxious, what's going on? The company can't run at all. Pei Yan took a deep breath, Miss Si, amazing. It really didn't take more than 5 days before the Pei family's company collapsed. A meeting is being held inside the Pei family. Pei Yan pursed his lips, it is estimated that we are going to impeach me as chairman and re-election. We must go now. They used such filthy methods to deal with us, and they have the face to impeach you. Madame Pei was so angry, let's go. The two were about to say goodbye to Si fucking when they saw her looking up, wait, I'll go around. 20 minutes later, the four arrived at the building of the Pei group. Pei Menzi was about to follow, but was stopped. What are you doing? Mrs. Pei glared at him. Just wait outside. There is a cafe over there. Go have a drink by yourself, don't make trouble. Pei Menzi. Okay, he's used to it. 18th floor. The meeting room was already full of people. Pei Yan came in, his eyes focused on him. Pei Yan, you have finally returned to China, an old man said lukewarmly, with a bit of sarcasm, the domestic companies have collapsed, and you are still in the mood to make orders abroad. Pei Yan smiled calmly, Uncle Chi. Brother and sister-in-law, when can a little girl come in for the internal meeting of the Pei family? Pei Su frowned when he saw Si fucking, even if this is your favorite daughter-in-law, she is not qualified to attend such an important event now. S meeting. Pei Yan's expression changed, Pei Su, pay attention to what you say. Don't offend anyone. Daughter-in-law. Does he dare? What's the matter, who is she? Make you so nervous? Pei Su sneered softly, and offend people? Who is she to make me afraid? Where's the security? Hurry up and drive out all the irrelevant people. Si fucking sat down, his eyes were calm, not in a hurry, I'm Si fucking. Interview with Ching Ching, what has changed? Feng San and Shang Lu, learned to surf the internet. Su Yang and Chu Lingyun, accustomed to the internet. I really can't get enough of my post. Of course, if you all came from the last book, when I didn't say it. 3. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 123. Her brows were unhurried. Sitting on the chair, he is obviously lazy and loose, but his aura is overwhelming. Pei Su was shocked by the momentum on her body for a while, and he forgot to speak, and his mind went blank for a moment. After a few seconds, he reacted and was extremely annoyed. Your surname is not Si, why do you come to the meeting of the Pei group? Everyone else at the conference table also looked at Si fucking with a scrutiny in their eyes. It's bound to be amazing. After all, Si fucking's face is extremely prosperous. Black fans can't say she's ugly to her face. It turns out that you are SI fucking the old man who Pei Yan called Uncle Chi glanced over sharply. We remember exactly what Miss SI said on the internet. The Pei family's company will collapse within 5 days. Now that what you said has come true, and you choose this time to come, won't you be here to demonstrate? Of course he knew something about SI fucking. Adopted by the Zhou family, an 18-line star, a 9-leaf fish with no education, and a vase. Then look at yourselves. SI fucking smiled, do you want to live or die? In one sentence, everyone glared at him. Pei Yan, what do you mean? Pei Su sneered again, the company has done such a big thing in your hands, and you even brought an outsider here to show off your power, you want to hand over the Pei group. After he finished speaking, without waiting for Pei Yan to answer, he immediately said, Old Chi, as a shareholder, I request to revoke Pei Yan's position as chairman, and Yang Huizu's position as general manager. Pei Yan's face sank. Pei Su, you are not qualified. He discussed with MRS Pei, and Pei Su was one of the suspects who bowed to them. Now that Pei Su is so excited, the suspicion is getting bigger and bigger. Pei Yan, when the old man passed the chairman's position to you, he was naturally optimistic about you, Chi Lao said lightly, but now you have seen that you are no longer qualified for this position, so let's yen. The company hasn't reached a dead end yet. Pei Yan calmed down, I've already invested in ours in the Principality of Miston. As long as they inject funds, the company can come back to life. But these words were only said to the Pei family on the surface. Pei Yan and his wife knew that the reason why Pei's company was in a dead end was that someone hired a head turner. If it wasn't for the protection of the ancient jade that was passed down from the family would have long since disappeared. Hearing this sentence, SI fucking finally raised his eyes. Ours. The Pei family is a pharmaceutical group, so even if it is not well known, its assets are still very rich. Why didn't she know that her 6 senior brothers' industry had developed to this point? 3 years have changed very quickly. 6 senior brothers have started selling medicine. Pei Yan, it's useless for you to say this now. Old Chi was unmoved. How many families in Sijukan want to get ours investment? But what happens? No, unless you have signed a contract. Pei Yan was speechless. Ours, the first group in the Western continent, is directly under the royal family of the Principality of Miston, and is in charge of the Duke himself. If you can catch up with the Ars group, you can catch up with the royal family of the Principality of Miston, and you can also open the market door of the Western continent. This is an essential step for the family business to break into the world. This is the plan we discussed before you came. Uncle Chi asked the secretary to hand over a document, you sign it. Pei Yan took it over and took a look, and the more he looked, the more serious his expression became. It was clearly written in the agreement that if the Pei group could not come back to life within a week, then Pei Yan would not only give up the position of chairman, but also hand over all the shares. This is no different from expelling him from the Pei family. Brother, don't say anything more, you have signed this document. Pei Su sneered, it's you who made things happen, and one person does the job and one person is responsible. Pei Yan squeezed the paper tightly, his eyes cold. How could he sign this word? The meeting room was also very quiet, and the shareholders were waiting for Pei Yan to sign. The silence was broken at this point. Si fucking stood up, propped up the table with one hand, and picked up his hair with the other, and said lightly, sign. One word made everyone look over again, their eyes stunned. Pei Yan was also a little confused. I said, Miss Si, right? You can't talk about this kind of thing. Pei Su laughed again, you are not from Pei's family, and you do not understand the rules of business, and you said you signed him. Pei Yan. Just signed, you still dash. Pei Su's words came to an abrupt end. Because he saw Pei Yan pick up the pen and decisively signed his name on the document. Old Chi was also extremely surprised, and couldn't help but glance at Si fucking with deep thought in his eyes. Pei Yan is not impatient, let alone aggressive. Why does Si fucking do what he says? Does Si fucking really have any strengths that they don't know about? Chi Lao carefully recalled Si fucking's information, but in the end he couldn't find anything worthy of attention. He said lightly again, "Young man, it's good to have courage, but a newborn calf is not afraid of tigers, and if you meet a tiger, you will be eaten." Si fucking glanced at him and tilted his head. "I can't compare with you, after all, you were the one who got into the ground first." Old Chi was so angry that his beard was shaking. You are just. Let's go." Si fucking ignored him and went out first. "Come here, don't be stunned, take me around." Mrs. Pei was stunned for a moment, and immediately followed up with great joy. She took Si fucking around the Pei group building for a full circle, and the more she turned, the more frightened she became. It's really hard work. Si fucking had a few more bad cards in her hand, and her fox eyes narrowed lightly. "I'll take it all for you, tomorrow at noon, disperse everyone in the company and wait for me." Okay, Mrs. Pei, I'll ask that boy Meng Ji to take Miss Si back." "Where does Miss Si live?" "No." Si fucking refused. "I'll go back by bike, low carbon and healthy." "Yes." Mrs. Pei suddenly realized, "I will definitely ride more bicycles in the future to contribute to the cause of environmental protection." Si fucking gave Mrs. Pei a complicated look. She felt that something was wrong with Mrs. Pei, but she just changed her symptoms. Mrs. Pei sent Si fucking out, and her heart finally settled down, so she took the document from Pei Yan and looked at it. "As a result, I got nervous again. Husband, can you really get the investment from ours?" "I don't know yet." Pei Yan shook his head, but Miss Si said that the company was also affected by the layout of Feng Shui, and I wanted to remove this. "Then you shouldn't sign that document." Mrs. Pei was anxious. "There is a clause on it saying that if you can't get the investment of ours, you will still be considered a failure." Pei Yan's footsteps stopped, and his mind came to his senses. How did he sign it? It seems that Miss Si said a word. This. Forget it, anyway, it's at this point, what else can I do? Pei Yan sighed. Miss Shinji is better than her family now. Who would have thought that brothers and sisters would be so cruel to him? That's not it. Mrs. Pei often sighed. I feel that those few pieces of ancient jade are still not enough. Otherwise, I will go to my mother's side in a few days and let my mother help me to see what other good things are in Sijukan. Pei Yan nodded in response. Outside the Pei's building, Si fucking drove a shared bicycle and answered the phone with one hand. No need to send it here, I just happen to be fine right now, so drop by. I'm really bothering you, said the policewoman on the other end of the phone. You're welcome. Si fucking ended the call, checked the time, and prepared to ride to the police station. Miss Si, Pei Menzi greeted her with great enthusiasm. What do you need me to do? Just say it, I'll do anything to go up the mountain of swords and down the sea of fire. Si fucking didn't even look at him, just disappear. Pei Menzi. He touched his head. Or Miss Si, do you need information about the Yu family? Yu Yao's. I've been with his buddies for many years, and I know him well. I'm not interested. Si fucking looked indifferent. I'm going to the police station, don't block my sight. Pei Menzi could only give up. He was really sure now, Si fucking didn't feel the slightest bit about Yu Yao, and was very annoyed. But it's a good thing. After all, Yu Yao had a childhood sweetheart, and if he really liked him, he would only have a sad ending. What's more, Si fucking is so powerful, and Yu Yao is a little worse for her. Pei Menzi glanced at the message sent to him by his gaming friend. A new copy of The Oracle will be online on time next Friday at 7 p.m. Hundreds of millions of players around the world are looking forward to it. Pei Menzi is also looking forward to it. Maybe he will be able to meet Nine God soon. It's been a happy couple lately. Pei Menzi was in a better mood and drove away. At this time, Zhuojia Zokinja has been detained for 2 days and has not been released yet. The police station also forbids the Zhou family to visit. Old Madame Zhou was also frightened for a long time, her face was pale and her body was weak. "Mom, don't worry about it," Zhou Tianfeng comforted her. "If Kinja can come out, Xianyu will go to the police station to negotiate with Sci-fi in a while. We have a high stake, so she can't refuse." "You don't know anything, you don't know anything." Madame Zhou lost her soul. I'm going back. She did know that old man Zhou adopted Sci-fi for the sake of Sci-fi's luck. At the time, she felt that this approach was very inadvisable. But later, seeing that the Zhou family became more and more prosperous, he acquiesced. Who knew that the luck that was taken away would be returned one day? What Madame Zhou is most afraid of now is that the part of Zhou Xianyu's luck will also be lost. Luck is so mysterious. But she knew that Zhou Xianyu was able to have such a terrifying business talent because of the luck of Sci-fi. Zhou Tianfeng frowned. "Xianyu, what happened to Xinting Law Firm?" "I checked." Zhou Xianyu nodded lightly. "Xinting Law Firm has been visiting the people all the time to help some people who are unable to appeal, and this time they are doing the same." "Is that so?" Zhou Tianfeng nodded. "I thought she invited it." Zhou Xianyu picked up his bag. "I'll go first." Zhou Tianfeng waved his hand. "Go, be sure to bring your sister back." Linkhung Police Station. The female police officer successfully helped herself and several male compatriots to get Sci-fi's autograph. "That's Miss Si." The case of Zhou Kinja is fully followed up by the Star Court law firm. The policewoman poured a cup of tea. "Please rest assured, Miss Si, the crimes she committed are stricter and can be sentenced to more than 8 years imprisonment." "Thank you." Sci-fi took the cup. "I believe in the law." "Sister," a small policeman ran in. "Someone from the Zhou family has come and said that we must talk to Miss Si." The policewoman frowned, and before she said anything, Sci-fi had already said, "Okay, let them come over and talk to me." Zhou Xianyu was let in. Sci-fi drank his tea, as if he didn't see anything. "That's it." Zhou Xianyu pushed an invitation letter. "We are going to spend a lot of money to send you to the Royal Academy of Art, Film, and Television in Miston. This is an invitation letter that Dad finally got, and you can be exempted from the test. In addition to Glen College, the most famous film and television college in the world is the Principality of Miston. After all, not everyone can enter Glen. You should be clear that you didn't go to the 3rd year of junior high school, and you dropped out of school and were sent abroad by your grandfather. Your education is still criticized in the entertainment industry." Zhou Xianyu said lightly. "You can not only make up for it by going to Miston. In the previous courses, you can also practice acting skills, and in the future, you can transform into the film and television industry." Sci-fi smiled. So as long as you don't care about this case and let Kinja go, you can go to study in the Principality of Miston." Zhou Xianyu looked at her. "The opportunity is very rare. If you miss it, you won't have it." "No." Sci-fi raised his head. "Who gave you the illusion that I depend on your Zhou family?" Zhou Xianyu frowned, a little displeased. "Sci-fi, that is the Principality of Miston, don't you?" "The Duchy of Miston, right." Sci-fi put down the cup. "Do you need me to give you the contact information of their duke? Would you like to talk to him? It turns out that so many babies have read all 4 of my books. I am moved to recommend a song to everyone. The Lonely Brave is a very warm and touching song. There is a lyric in it that I like very much. Whoever said that he is a hero who stands in the light. See you tomorrow." After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 124. There are many rumors about the Duke of Miston. He said that he should have been the king of the duchy, but he didn't want to, so he just left it to someone else. But the one who has the first right to speak in the Principality of Miston is still this duke. In particular, This duke is handsome, rich, and suave, and is also the dream lover of many princesses. It's just that he has no intention of getting married, and he is still single after so many years. Every day, many people go to the capital of the Principality of Miston, wondering if they can meet this duke by chance. Who wouldn't know the name of Duke Miston? When Zhou heard this, he couldn't bear it any longer, and his anger went up. I'm talking about business with you, not joking with you. This is his mobile phone number. Wrote down a series of numbers unhurriedly. Personal mobile phone generally does not change, you can try it. The paper was photographed in front of Zhou. She frowned and glanced. The first few numbers are the international area code of the Principality of Miston, yes, but the back. Only then did Zhou come back to his senses, and found that she was really taken away by and he couldn't bear his anger. I said, I'm talking about business with you. Although there are still rumors that Duke Miston's mother is an oriental beauty, this remains to be seen. A native of Daxia, has never even been to the western continent. How can he still get the mobile phone number of Duke Miston? You are red now, and your fans are getting more and more. You don't want your fans to be looked down upon by fans of other stars, saying that their master is a fish who missed out on 9 years of education, right? Zhou face was cold. Don't you think it's pathetic to be your fan? Finally raised his head. The fox's eyes were still bent, but there was only a sullen look in his pupils. It turns out that fans are your bottom line. Zhou only felt amused. I don't know if you are stupid or not. It's so important to treat a group of people you haven't seen before. How long can fans be in love? If you like you today, you can like others tomorrow. Are you really a treasure? She simply couldn't understand what was doing. It's not that Zhou has never had contact with people in the circle. But out of the few stars she's seen, who would really go to fans? It's all just a tool. Is really an outlier. Come out. Stood up, let's go out and talk. Zhou frowned, still picked up his bag, followed behind, and came outside the police station. She looked at the time impatiently. Okay, come out, what's the matter you dash? Before he could finish speaking, Zhou was slapped severely on the face. She failed to react, and was followed by another slap, which this time slapped her directly to the ground. Zhou's ears were buzzing, rust spread in his mouth, and his throat was burning with pain. It's not easy to do things inside, so let's come out and talk. Bent down, patted Zhou's face lightly, and smiled. You're right, I do cherish them, so you should take less of my fans. Come and threaten me, otherwise, you will die the most ugly. Also, what you stole is not yours after all. You have to understand this truth. Stood up straight, wiped his hands, and turned to leave. Miss, the driver hurriedly got out of the car and ran forward. Miss, are you all right? It's okay. Zhou's body trembled. Help me in the car. She knew that the negotiation today was a complete failure. What does Cassie mean? Miss, she's a star now, and we'll directly expose her on Weibo. The driver said. Didn't you say she has a group of black fans? It's better. No, Zhou snapped. Recently, the company has a big foreign deal to discuss. My image cannot be damaged, and if I let others know that I was beaten by where will my face go? The driver was speechless. Go home. Zhou had difficulty speaking, even trembling with anger. Call the family doctor. Even Zhou Tianfeng and Madame Zhou hadn't hit her, and had already slapped her 3 times. She remembered. Here, returned to the police station. Miss Si didn't plan to make a movie or something. The male police officer was very enthusiastic. My daughter says every day that you are so good looking, it's a pity not to make a movie. Didn't blink his eyes. I'm pretty bad at acting, so don't destroy your reputation. Oh, Yes, the male police officer shook his head. We don't know how many reports of cyber violence we have received here. Miss SI is a public figure, so she must adjust her mentality. In terms of mentality, I'm still very good, SI fucking said slowly. Anyway, they are just scolding me. I used to be chased and killed every day, and I was in a good mood to drink coke. It's nothing. Male police officer. It's too late to disturb you guys. SI fucking took out a can of tea from his bag. This is a refreshing tea, you can drink a cup when you are tired. No, no, the male police officer flatly refused. We can't break the rules. SI fucking frowned. That's right, I'll give you a drink first, and I won't give it away. She made everyone a cup of tea, then waved, go, thank you for your hard work. The male police officer took a hesitant sip. After drinking, he took a few breaths. Hey, don't tell me, my body is really comfortable, and I feel that the internal injuries from the previous mission have disappeared. Is it a psychological effect? The female police officer rolled his eyes at him. How can you get hurt with a cup of tea? Also, you only have one signature, and the other is mine. Male police officer. The next day is Monday, work day, which is also the last day of the 5 days. There have long been black fans who have begun to satirize on the internet. 5 days have come, has the Pei family collapsed? SI fucking's individual characters are better than those of metaphysics. Do you really think you are the ancient Qin Tianjian? Understood, SI fucking will only speak harsh words. In fact, task, people are so soft. After being preempted by SI fucking to fight against the gangsters, the Moosas have been able to find gangsters with great precision. 2G Network, Zokinja has been arrested. Are you still here? Some sunspots are really out of time now, staring at your sister-in-law every day. What's the matter? Your sister-in-law is really your father? Even though SI fucking already has a certain fan base through the episodes of Youth, her black fans are still huge. As long as there is one point, they will hold on to it. SI fucking didn't know what was going on online. She was wandering around the Pei's building. The chairman's position was still in Pei Yan's hands, and under his strong order, the building was completely emptied. SI fucking walked to a corner, squatted down, and touched the ground. The formation has improved, but the waist has also improved a bit. He was killed once, and although he came back to life, he was also greatly affected. So it was difficult for her to regain her strength. But breaking this formation is just right. SI fucking took out the cinnabar, wrote a symbol on the ground, and went to the next location for the formation. Pei Yan has been waiting anxiously outside, not daring to blink. And just then, suddenly, bang! Bang bang bang! A series of fiery explosions sounded in every corner of the building, and the whole building trembled. A few seconds later, there was a sound of boom, and a small burning cloud appeared faintly, and the building was crumbling. Pei Menzi was stunned. Dad, what is Miss SI doing in there? Build an atomic bomb. Master can do anything, just shut up. Mrs. Pei was also a little scared. It's probably the guy who lowered his head. Haven't you heard that fire can drive out poison? Pei Menzi shut up decisively. Damn, it really doesn't look good to him. As the big family in Linkhung, the Pei family could not block such a big movement. Soon some enthusiasts posted the video of the fire and explosion of the Pei's building on the internet. Netizens were stunned. Wait, what SI fucking said was not economical. I was at the scene, and I was scared to death when it suddenly exploded. This building is considered abolished, and the loss of the Pei family will cost more than 1 billion yuan. Let's not talk about the brothers. You see that she has been begging for rain, and the Pei family has also collapsed, and it is in a mess. You said it was a coincidence and I recognized it. I went to her Weibo and worshipped her. I will take the exam tomorrow. I hope I pass it smoothly. I'm going too. I suspect she is the reincarnation of Koi. When the mooses started the job of going to Sci-fi Weibo every day to swipe comments to suppress the black comments, they found that they came a little late, and the black comments were suppressed by some strange comments. Worship Koi, take a math test tomorrow. Koi protect me. Confess the day after tomorrow. Mooses. Why are they doing everything, but not taking selfies? It was also at this time that Yanchinj, which was only more than 100 kilometers away from Linkhung. A middle-aged man was drinking and eating meat when he suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood and fell straight down. Sir, the woman opposite was startled, what's wrong with you? Pei Zhen, an Onmyoji has come to Linkhung, breaking the formation I set up for you more than 10 years ago. The middle-aged man looked ugly. Good boy, he was able to find every point I set up, the formation the law is abolished, and it has also attacked me. Pei Zhen Warong paled, then what to do? Seeing that Pei Yan's lineage is about to fall completely, how could someone break their formation at this time? If the formation is broken, won't Pei Yan make a comeback? So her 10 years of forbearance have come to nothing? Don't worry, Onmyoji is very weak, especially after using the power of yin-yang and 5 elements to a large extent. The middle-aged man sneered disdainfully, my formation is extremely complicated, if he wants to break it, he will definitely exhaust his physical strength, I'm afraid it's hard to even move now. You sent someone to kill him, and I'll think about how to continue to help you in the future. Pei Zhen hesitated, very helpless, but I don't know the exact location of the Onmyoji you mentioned. Humph, he thought he completely covered up his position, but I didn't know that I had already noticed it. The middle-aged man closed his eyes, you wait for me to rest for a while, my injury is not minor. At night, I can then set up the formation to check his position, and you can send people to act. Pei Zhen nodded and breathed a sigh of relief, okay, I will follow the orders of the master. Night. I went to the courtyard of the villa to show Yuzian's legs. Boss, I have an announcement in Machen next Tuesday, the day after tomorrow. She tilted her head, please take a leave. She has been to Daxia only a handful of times before. As the main city of Zhongzhou, Machen has never been to her, and she regrets it very much. Feng San was stunned, Machen. Well, I blinked, is it the house of Xiao Sanzan? Feng San was accustomed to such weird nicknames, he thought about it and replied, no, I'm not actually from the Mo family, I just practice martial arts together. I thought thoughtfully, is that so? The Mo family is actually. Feng San suddenly realized that he had missed the point. He first glanced at Yuzian, saw that the man's expression did not fluctuate in any way, and heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that Brother Ju really took Miss Si as his own. However, when other people heard the Mo family, they were all shocked. After all, one day the words in the history book came true, and they couldn't calm down. Why is Miss Si so calm? Feng San was quite lost. It just happened. Yuzian nodded slightly, the dinner is also in Machen, Friday night. Paying for multiple jobs, no vacation. Are you? And Yuzian paused and smiled slightly, my girlfriend is flying, or are you flying with me on a private jet? With my girlfriend, said, I promised her, and my girlfriend is so beautiful, it would be bad if someone was staring at her, but don't worry, boss, I will fly back with you. Yuzian supported her head and moved her eyebrows slightly, I'm not that vulnerable. Boss, I know that you are so powerful that you can pull a mountain and lift a mountain. Started a new round of rainbow farts, but I am a doctor, and it is also my duty to protect you. Yeah, Yuzian said quietly, today is too late, let Feng San send you to the show tomorrow. Tonight, stopped, and she hesitated for a while, okay, then, boss, go to bed early today. Don't stay up late. Yuzian looked up at the back of the girl going upstairs, and Rufeng narrowed her eyes slightly. After a while of silence, he said, Let the Mo family get ready. When Feng San heard these words, his expression instantly became solemn. I don't know, where is there an urgent mission? Yu Zion hummed, build a gun. Feng San. He was so nervous that he was sick. Feng San was very strange. Don't miss us, I know how to use a gun. I'll teach you. Yu Zion picked up the tea. It's good to have one more person who can defend himself. Feng San took the order and rolled away decisively. If it goes on like this, his heart will explode. After going out, Feng San sent a message to his small group. Everything is ready, Brother 9 will go to Mexico City in a few days, and then you will prepare a gun, the latest model, and the hidden weapon, dual use. Although thousands of years have passed, and technology has impacted the ancient technology, the Mo family's mechanism is still not broken by a simple hot weapon. Combining hidden weapons and gunpowder, the guns made by the Mahists are priceless. The news blew the diver out. We welcome you anytime. I understand, the Lord is short of guns, so I will go to the iron. That's not right, doesn't the Lord dislike using guns? He doesn't use much equipment either. That fan is used to fan the wind. Feng San, honestly, who is this gun for? Did you fail to protect the Lord, and the Lord accepted others? Feng San. Can you guess this? He snorted and replied. I won't say. What can you do to me? All the people in the group started to scold him. Feng San completely ignored it. When the time comes to meet Miss Si directly, he will see how their jaws drop to the ground. Feng San first made up for the scene in his head, and then went to water the flowers with satisfaction. At 2 o'clock in the morning, it was completely dark, and there were only a few street lights left. A figure slipped into the courtyard of the villa very quickly. An agile young man. After entering, he checked the address sent to him by Pei Zhen again and confirmed it again. This is not a wealthy area, it can only be said to be secluded enough. Therefore, he is also very relieved to take this list, and if he can get a lot of money, he will not provoke any big man. The young man slowed down and walked inside. He is extremely confident in his means and abilities. The people in this villa will never find him, and he will only die in his sleep. The young man had come to the front door, and after unlocking it as quickly as possible, he pushed open the door. SHH. That is, at this moment, something sharp came out of the air, and instantly pressed against his throat. The young man's body tensed up suddenly, and cold sweat broke out from his back. He subconsciously wanted to turn his head, but his throat was cold. It's a fan handle. In the darkness, the man stood sideways, his voice was quiet and even, don't move, move is also death. Today is the day to ask for votes for His Majesty -3. I don't know how long it will take to find out that his legs are actually good. This is what it looks like in my eyes. Brothers and sisters are all big brothers, but I am a little salted fish. QWQ. Brother and sister? Can you say that again? After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 125. The tone was neither high nor low, and there was no emotional fluctuation. The pressure is very strong. Almost all the cold hairs of the young man stood upside down, and he could already feel the slightest coolness coming from his neck. He couldn't turn his head, but he could still see from the corner of his eye. Just the fan handle. But how could a fan block him? Most importantly, he didn't hear any breathing at all. Robot. Yu Zion's brows were cold. His hand was still holding the fan handle upside down, and his fingers were slender and white at the tips. But suddenly the wrist bone turned over, the fan handle moved down, and hit the young man's shoulder at a speed that was hard to catch with the naked eye. The young man was so frightened that he lost his voice, his whole body froze, and his mind completely stopped working. Because he found that he couldn't move at all. Acupuncture hand. How could such a kung fu unique to the great Xia dynasty appear here? A martial arts show. The light suddenly came on, and Uzion raised her eyebrows slightly. In less than half a second, he sat back in the wheelchair. The fan handle tapped on the palm of the hand, as if nothing had happened. Boom. Feng San ran downstairs and pressed the young man to the ground. Speak. Who sent you here? After he noticed that someone had entered the small courtyard of the villa, he came out of the bedroom as soon as possible, trying to conquer the enemy. But who would have thought that his ninth brother was still one step ahead of him? Feng San was surprised. Could it be that his ninth brother has been in the living room and didn't go up? Sci-fi also came down. She first glanced at Uzion, who was sitting in a wheelchair, and then looked at the young man Feng San was pressing. Hey, no, Sci-fi was a little disappointed. I waited for so long, but a little scoundrel came. She deliberately exposed her breath when she broke the formation. In this way, the head descender will definitely track down her position after being furious. She can totally sit back and wait. The only one who was completely unaware was Feng San, who was stunned. So this person is here to assassinate Miss Si. When did Miss Si get the same treatment as Juji? Both of them are being hunted down. How many people in the world have to be mobilized? Yes, I fucking touched his chin. That's why I don't want to stay tonight, but I don't want to make the boss sad. I also told you to go to bed early so that I can do it. Not bad, Sansan, you are faster than me, you deserve encouragement. Feng San. He glanced at Uzion subconsciously, very ashamed. As a dark guard, it turned out that Brother Ju could do it himself, he might as well just die. With a clear ding sound, Uzion put the fan on the coffee table. But listening to the young killer's ears, it was like a demonic sound filling his ears, and his body trembled like a sieve. Forgive my life. Forgive my life. I am following other people's orders. I have no malice. In a place like Linkhung, how can there be people who have kung fu? Look, Uzion's fingers were lightly clasped into a ring, and her tone was slow and unhurried. How to deal with it? If you want to kill me, it's fine, you can't kill the people around me. I fucking squatted down. I'm developing a new medicine recently, let's try it for you. Before the young man could say no, a cold, strawberry-flavored pill was stuffed in his throat. Almost instantly, he felt a wind-cut pain in his limbs. Not only that, there was a very bursting burning sensation in the stomach, and the internal organs were all mixed together. Isn't it delicious? Si fucking opened his medicine box. Look, it's chocolate and matcha. Feng San took a step back in awe. Miss Si is very good at pharmaceuticals, and she can make various flavors. How can she be a kitchen killer? I really just took over the organizational mission. The young man began to beg for mercy frantically. I don't have any grudges with you. This lady, you have a lot of people, let me go, let me go. Feng San grabbed the youth by the collar and forced him to raise his head. And the organization? Uzion nodded lightly. Then deal with the consequences of your organization's betrayal. The young man's eyes suddenly widened. You, Feng San directly wrapped his mouth with tape and dragged him down. Uzion turned her head and saw that Si fucking was still looking at the fan. He held his head, and his eyes were a little more meaningful. Want to play? Si fucking raised his head, and the fox's eyes were bright. Is it okay? Yeah, Uzion's voice was warm. It's not something important. Only then did Si fucking pick up the fan and read it thoroughly. It was only this time that she completely saw the whole picture of the fan. When combined, the handle of the fan is sharp and the fan bone is hard, like a sword, but not as heavy as a sword. When the fan is opened, it is like a machete, and it can sever marble when it spins out. There are even 12 golden needles hidden in this fan bone. There is a mechanism at the fan handle that can be pressed. With this press, 12 golden needles are sent out. Even if there are many people besieged, they will not fall behind. The hidden weapon of the Mo family is #1 in the world. It's never bragging. However, the same weapon, in fact, has the same principle as the anti-gravity armor she made. Sci turned the fan in her hand and put it down, and then her eyes fell on the seemingly ordinary wheelchair under Uzion. She bent down slightly and reached out to touch the wheel. But in the middle of it, the man's cold fingers clasped his wrist, and a sigh fell from the top of his head. "Don't move this, be careful to hurt you." It was this sentence that made Sci confirm that this wheelchair was definitely a hidden weapon from top to bottom. She took a step back a little and said sincerely, "Boss, you are really amazing. To allow the MO family to create such a bone fan, and this unique wheelchair, if Uzion was only the 9th son of the U family, I'm afraid it would be very unqualified. I hear you say that every day, and my ears have grown calluses." Uzion leaned on the wheelchair. "What new words are there? This time is different. Something is different." Sci was very serious. "This time I have more sincerity. When I came back, I heard Feng San." "It's more sincere." Uzion sat upright, just looking at her. "So you weren't sincere before?" "Of course it's true, 1 is true, and 2 are true." Sci coughed twice. "How can true heart be so easy to give to people? Do you think so, boss?" "Yes." Uzion paused. "My biological siblings can also be killed for power." He couldn't help but recall what happened in his previous life. He was indeed not favored by the previous emperor, and he didn't even have the right to inherit. He was sent to the Buddhist temple and was not allowed to return to the palace for 6 years. Until later, he was forced to join the 16 sons' life and death struggle for succession. There is only one winner. To lose, that is death, is captivity. He can only win. It seems like this is the case for all the big families. "Don't be too sad, boss." Sci thought that he was talking about the Yu family, and comforted him. "The brothers and sisters I know are very good to me, and I will introduce them to you in the future." Different from what Sci thought, Uzion laughed slightly after hearing this sentence. "You have such a likable temperament, why would anyone treat you badly? Where are the elders who will not pamper them?" Sci Her ears became hot for the first time, and she turned around quickly. "I'll go upstairs first, and I have to go to work at 8 tomorrow." "Boss, don't be too busy and go to bed." Feng San squinted and stammered, Ninth brother, are you embarrassed for praising Miss Si?" Uzion glanced at him. Feng San understood and immediately got out. "I'm going to water the flowers." With the cold wind blowing outside, Feng San recalled that when he suppressed the killer had already been controlled by Uzion. He fell into silence. It's said that this fan is only used for fans and decorations. Feng San knew that this fan was jointly forged by several elder-level casters of the Mo family, and the material was unparalleled in the world. But after being with Uzion for so many years, he really never saw Uzion use a fan. Feng San thought for a moment and opened the small group. "At Express brother, dog thing, you have a little misjudgment. Little courier? Ninth brother's fan is not only used for fanning, I have seen other uses today." This sentence was sent out, and a group chat call jumped out directly. Feng San didn't answer, and he was very happy to see the people in the group jumping and scolding him again. Sure enough, only by following Miss Si can you see these guys jumping up and down and unable to kill him. So cool. The next day, a new week arrives. The Linkhung newspaper and the economic pages of major news websites reported that the Pei Group's capital chain was broken, and it is expected to be completely bankrupt within this week. Netizens who watched the Weibo post of Star Court law firm were completely convinced. Absolutely, Si's mouth opened wide. What to say? This is not worship, this is not goodbye, I went to worship. Wait, brother, add me one. Si also fell into silence as she watched the comments on her microblog worshipping the koi all at once. She quickly read the fans' private messages, replied a few more comments, and then withdrew. The computer interface returned to the eastern continent of Oracle. On the screen, the silver masked swordsman had the words 180 full level glittering on top of his head. Sci-fi was satisfied. Very good, she waits for the white-clothed musician who killed her to come online, and she must kill him at level 10 in a row. The assassin character played by Ji Xingzi was spinning beside her. 9. Forgot to ask, my luck has been robbed, it's impossible for everyone to rob the same thing, right? G. Of course, the more you take your luck, the harder it will be to take it back, because it proves that this person and your luck are highly compatible, and the longer time goes by, this part of luck and ta will soon be completely integrated. Well, if you burp, this part of luck will belong to others. 9. Smiles. G. But the more you take, the worse it will be. Tisk tisk, I can't wait to see the results. This level of luck transfer formation is definitely not something that an onmyoji can handle. I have to go back and ask. Old man. G. By the way, a new dungeon will be opened on Friday, have you all called out? The forums are betting on whether you can do it or not, so don't miss out. 9. Missed. If I block 10, it's enough trouble to take you, and call someone else? G. G. As expected of you, God. 9. In the Legends of the Rivers and Lakes, 9 can kill opponents at level 40. Sci got up and went to the kitchen to bring the fruit to Yutang by the way. At Yutang's strong request, she is also living in the courtyard of the villa today. In the adjoining bedroom, Yutang lay on the table and started to kowtow on the table with a gloomy expression, I'm so mad at me. Sci pushed open the door and came in, squinting his fox eyes and looking over, Tang Tang, what are you doing? How many brain cells do you have to die? Cursing, Yutang was very angry, this person thinks that I am a dish, and it has even risen to a gender attack. Woohoo, she's so useless that she can't even scold the other side. Sci walked over and took a closer look. Familiar Oracle interface. Current lemon candy with ice, female, right? What kind of PvP do you play, girl? Can you not be ashamed? Currently lemon candy with ice, I really annoy you women the most. Every time I brush the dungeon, I will only drag my feet. If there are women, I have not cleared the dungeon. Can I just surrender? You said what else can you girls do besides play nanny? No technical operation, really service. Currently lemon candy with ice, it's rubbish to be speechless, just drive the last one, don't waste my time. Oracle's PvP, player-to-player, system, if you get killed once, you will lose 1 level and equipment. Yutang was killed 3 times and dropped 3 levels. She practiced these 3 levels for a month. Yutang was originally an optimist, and if she loses, but these 3 sentences made her cry out of anger. Okay, very arrogant, look down on girls. Sci patted the back of the chair and smiled, Tang Tang, get up. Yutang was stunned for a while, then got up subconsciously, and saw Sci sitting down in her original position. They are still pretty sweet. See you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 126. Her slender and beautiful fingers also rested on the mechanical keyboard. Before Yutang could react, he saw Sci-Fucking's other hand holding the mouse directly clicked on PK to start. The familiar system opening voice sounded. Both sides attack. Currently lemon candy with ice, if you have the guts, I thought that if your daughter was beaten, she would be a tortoise. Sci said lightly, nonsense. She moved her hands together, and the sounds of the keyboard and mouse were intertwined. Yutang wanted to see the specific operation, but she just got close, and the voice of victory rang. Congratulations, Your APM is as high as 278 in this game, and you have achieved the achievement of Explosive Player. Ding, your achievement reward has been credited, please check it in your mailbox. The battle was over without even a second. Yu Tang was dumbfounded. She stared blankly at Sci-fucking, ching, ching ching, you. She has also been playing Oracle for a long time. I registered an account in the first year of high school and played on and off for 3 years. Oracle is suitable for all types of players. It can grow fields and flowers, and can also build houses. Of course, the most common PK and copy Oracle in the game also have everything. Yu Tang is a casual player, she prefers to practice cooking with various dishes. But that doesn't mean she doesn't understand the terminology of professional gamers. APM is the operation speed per minute, referred to as hand speed, which includes mouse clicks and keyboard strokes. Generally speaking, APM is a standard that reflects the player's level. The higher the APM, the stronger the player's strength. She played as a pharmacist, and has always been an auxiliary nurse who added blood to other players. She couldn't keep up with the assassin's class if she was too fast. Moreover, what is the concept of APM 278? Level only for professional players. That is to say, individual professional players of the national team can have a hand speed of up to 400 plus. Yu Tang knew that Yu Yao's hand speed was only in the early 200s. Sci-fucking glanced at the number, the other party is too bad. He died without putting on a few skills. It's boring. She also finally replied in the chat box. Currently begonia flower, that's it? Waste. Current lemon candy with ice, don't be complacent, come again. Currently begonia flower, okay, come to 10 games, I won't call you back today and write my name upside down, trash, what about you? The other party was furious. Next, Yu Tang witnessed what a massacre was. In each match, Sci-fucking still did not finish the battle for more than a second. Yu Tang only saw that Sci-fucking manipulated her character to suddenly jump up, and then the opponent died. In the 5th game, just as Sci-fucking tapped the keyboard, a box suddenly popped up on the game interface. The other party has been offline. Because the opponent forcibly quit the game, the system determines that you win, and the opponent has been punished. Ah, Yu Tang exclaimed excitedly, ching ching, you just killed him off the assembly line. It's a pity that he ran fast. He didn't get to take his turn directly. Sci-fucking shrugged, what kind of rubbish doesn't deserve to look down on girls? Ching ching, you also play Oracle. Yu Tang was very happy, then we can form a team in the future. I didn't expect pharmacists to play like this. Will Ching Ching have other professions? Sci-fucking thought for a while, almost a little. Then can you teach me to play swordsman? Yu Tang Xingxinjian said, I like swordsman, but I can't handle it, and I will die as soon as I go up. Okay, Sci-fucking agreed directly, when I arrive in Machin tomorrow, I will come back at night to teach you remotely on my number. Okay, Yu Tang was very moved, I know that you are the best to me, and no one else in the family will take me. Sci-fu raised his eyebrows, family? You don't know how to play with the boss, right? Yu Zion didn't look the same either. Ninth uncle, I don't know, but he's an old antique, how can he play games? Yu Tang sighed, I mean my third brother, they won't take me anyway. And didn't a new dungeon open on Friday? He said that taking me will definitely not be the top 100 customs clearance. It's okay, what is the top 100? Sci-fucking frowned, I'll take you and let you experience what the first kill is. Yu Tang was stunned again. Oracle has hundreds of millions of players, spread all over the world, and countless professional players are preparing for this dungeon. First kill? She didn't even think about it. Yu Tang watched the girl go out in a trance, feeling that she needed to calm down. Noon the next day. Sci-fucking went to Pei's house. Zhang Changning's scheduled flight was in the afternoon, so there was plenty of time. Miss Si, Pei Yan greeted her and was very excited. Miss Si is really amazing. The boss of the other party came back to sign with us today and said he was very satisfied with our plan. In less than a day, the Pei group came back to life. Congratulations. Si fucking sat down and raised his eyebrows. In your family, someone wants my life. Hearing this, Pei Yan's legs went soft. Who dares to be so brave? Miss Si said, I will deal with him immediately. Is it Pei Su? Pei Zhen, it should be this name. Si fucking opened the can. If you do it to me, it must be someone who asks the head turner to deal with you. Pei Zhen, Pei Yan was taken aback. Could it be her? Si fucking took a sip of coke. What? Don't believe it? No no no. Pei Yan shook his head. I believed what Miss Si said, but I didn't expect it to be her. Pei Zhen is actually not the Pei family, but the posthumous son of a deceased friend who was adopted by Mr. Pei. Pei Yan has always treated her very well, no different from her biological sisters. He really didn't think it would be Pei Zhen who would attack them. No wonder Si Fu listened to his explanation and nodded, but it's not surprising that it's a common thing for your wealthy brothers to fight each other. I didn't expect her to do this more than 10 years ago. Pei Yan gritted her teeth. The old man was still there at that time. How could she have such a heavy heart? Is she here? Si fucking raised his eyes. Call over. I'll do it now. Pei Yan angrily walked out. In half an hour, Pei Zhen came over. Her appearance is very delicate, her eyebrows and eyes are gentle, and the animals are harmless. Pei Yan never expected that Pei Zhen had such a vicious heart hidden under such a beautiful skin. He wanted his family to die without a burial. Big brother Pei Zhen was very concerned. How is the company's affairs recently? You called me over in such a hurry. Do you have anything to help? You still have the face to ask, Pei Yan sullenly said. You don't know what you did yourself, you ask me. Pei Zhen was stunned. Brother, what are you talking about? Why can't I understand? No need. Si fucking interrupted. Let her take this. Pei Zhen's expression changed slightly when he saw the dilapidated box with the negative card on it, but he quickly regained his composure. Miss, what do you mean? I don't care if you know it or not, anyway, I've dealt with it again. Si fucking smiled. So it's not Pei Menzi and the others, but you. Don't you like to play like this? Try it yourself. Hearing this sentence, Pei Zhen's expression finally changed completely, and her pupils shrank violently. Is the Onmyoji you? The Onmyoji that the master told her turned out to be a little girl who was not even 20 years old. How can that be? Pei Yan suddenly looked at Si fucking, and suddenly got up. Si, Miss Si, you. Si fucking's eyes were steady. Sit down, be quiet. Pei Yan sat down, his heart almost jumping out of his chest. 2. Besides Onmyoji, what other profession can easily solve this kind of downfall? But if Si fucking is an Onmyoji, and the Zhou family is a big idiot? Yes, I did it. Pei Zhen knew that he couldn't hide it. Birds die for food, and people die for wealth. What's wrong with me doing this? The old man gave me real estate, so I can live. That's it. The shares are the most important. Pei Yan was extremely disappointed. You finally admitted it? I didn't expect that, eldest brother. You can still get in touch with the Onmyoji. Pei Zhen's nails were pinched into the palm of his hand, and he was a little lost. The Onmyoji will be gone tomorrow. There is also Dong Sang's side. How can you? If Si fucking hadn't intervened, the Pei group would already be hers. Pei Zhen's heart was very unbalanced, and his eyes were a bit resentful. Don't bother me about your family affairs. Si fucking didn't want to listen. I'll go first and solve it myself. Pei Yan got up hurriedly. It's really bothering Miss Si. Outside, in the garden, Mrs. Pei walked slowly with Mrs. Pei. Miss Si, thank you. As soon as she saw Si fucking, Mrs. Pei knelt down for her, if it weren't for you, my family really doesn't know what to do. MRSP has always believed that there is a God when you raise your head 3 feet. Don't do this. I fucking lifted MRSP with one hand. You are getting old, and I can't stand it. I use money to do things, and both parties benefit each other. MRSP wiped away her tears and looked solemn. Miss SI has a good heart, I will definitely thank Miss SI well. Nothing to thank. SI fucking shook his head slightly and smiled. I still have something to do, so I won't stay anymore. MRSP glared at Paymenzi. Quickly send Miss SI out. Paymenzi was agitated and hurriedly followed. After walking a distance, SI fucking stopped and turned his head. You look constipated, what do you want to say? Paymenzi. What is this description? He held it back for a long time, and then came out a sentence, well, I think you are quite different from the rumors. After getting his own reward, SI fucking also listened patiently to him. What rumor? Just online. Paymenzi was a little nervous and stammered, I said that you are violent and have a bad temper. What equipment are you robbing, but you are so good to my grandma today. OSI Fu tilted his head and smiled, I'm divided, I'm quite violent towards you, do you want to try? Paymenzi hurriedly jumped away, Miss SI, I won't send you off, go slowly. He was still afraid of being beaten. Originally there was only one face, but after being beaten, the face disappeared. Paymenzi watched the girl ride away. He touched his head and turned to go home. He has a very strong hunch that one day in the future, Yuya will regret it very much. With the full efforts of the Star Court law firm, Zhou Qinji's sentence is a certainty. The news also officially announced that Zhou Mumu was arrested. Haida Puben, he was caught, he deserved it. Zhou Qinji went in and waited for the end of the Zhou family. I still want to say, SI fucking is a purebred white-eyed wolf. Zhou raised you for more than 10 years, you forgot, without Zhuojia, you are an orphan, and it is difficult to live on the streets. Yes, Zhou Qinji did something bad to you, but as for you to send her to prison? You don't miss old love at all? You weren't dead, you weren't injured, and you were so aggressive? I laughed, being treated like this by the Zhou family is better than living on the street. If the knife doesn't cut you, just keep your mouth shut. The Zhou family is probably a good man, Mr. Zhou, alas, it is a pity that he passed away, otherwise he can still say something for SI fucking. When she was notified, Zhou Qinji couldn't accept the result at all. She is still in the detention room because the documents have not come down. Although 3 meals a day are normal, she has no appetite at all. I want to see SI fucking. Zhou Qinji's hair was disheveled, her face distorted, I want to see her. She dares to treat me like this. Isn't she afraid that grandpa will die? Seeing Miss SI, Ling Feng raised his head and smiled, do you think you are qualified? Oh, yes, I heard that the Zhou family is still in Sijukan to communicate with you, you said that even the Yu family has to protect them. Miss SI, which family can the Zhou family find to let you out? Zhou Qinji's eyes suddenly widened, impossible. It's impossible. If SI fucking had something to do with the Yu family, would she still be bullied by her for so long? The Yu family was the largest family in Sijukan, and even 100 Zhou families couldn't compare. Nothing is impossible, Ling Feng said lightly, Miss SI said that you are the third, and there will be people behind you. Then ask Miss Zhou Qinji to enjoy your last few days in the detention center. After a while, you will go in and step on the sewing machine. You must work hard. Ling Feng gave a cheering gesture and went out. Zhou Qinji completely collapsed. She has lived a life of fine clothes and food since she was a child, how did she expect to go to prison one day? Is there a place where people can live? Zhou Qinji's head was buzzing, she lost her strength and collapsed on the interrogation chair. Outside. It can be considered that the first case has been completed. The young man stretched his back. The Zhou family has been dredging the relationship, which has made us a little restrained in Ling Hung. Don't talk nonsense when you're done. Ling Feng packed up, let's go. With sharp eyes, the young man saw a note on the table. What is that? Ah, oh, I remembered, the male police officer suddenly said. It seems that Miss Si left it yesterday, and Miss Si didn't take it away. It should be of no use. The young man took another look. Is this the phone number of Miston? Oh, it is. The male police officer touched his head. It seems that it belongs to Duke Miston, but Miss Si gave it anyway. Duke Miston, the young man laughed. I also said I was the king. Ling Feng said coldly, is there nothing to do? Youth, shut up. Since it's Miss C's stuff, let me take it away first. Ling Feng nodded. You don't have to work hard. The male police officer said cheerfully, okay, please thank lawyer Ling for helping me. Miss Si, the cup of tea she gave me is really useful. He vomited a mouthful of blood when he came home last night, startling his wife and daughter. After going to the hospital for an investigation, it turned out that the old wounds in the body had been diluted a lot. It's a medical miracle. Really didn't check out anything special. The male police officer attributes all this to the cup of tea that Si fucking gave him. The young man listened and glanced sideways. A cup of tea can cure old wounds, it is true. If so, what should be done with traditional Chinese medicine and Western medicine? It really blows Si Fu into the sky. Ling Feng chatted a few more words with the male police officer before leaving the police station. As the young man walked, he entered a string of numbers on the dial page. Look, Sister Ling, I have memorized the phone number just now. Ling Feng turned his head and frowned. What are you doing? Sister Ling, anyway, people said that Miss Si didn't want to stay here, so I'll call to take a look. The young man shook his phone. It's just a phone call, and it can't really be Duke Miston. I just thought that the male police officer was too good at blowing. What effect can a cup of tea do? Before Ling Feng could stop it, the young man had already pressed the dial button. The mechanical sound was picked up after 2 beeps. The young man lowered his voice with some pride. Look, Sister Ling, I said it's impossible, right? Duke Miston is so busy, how could he answer the phone so quickly? When you're busy, your phone is full of missed calls. As soon as he finished speaking, a low-pitched male voice sounded on the other end of the phone, with a pure Western accent. Hello. Si fucking, are you surprised? Are you surprised? Are you stabbed? Today is Valentine's Day, I wish everyone a happy holiday. 3, and the babies who have objects have a good holiday. Yes, my lover is this computer. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god author. Qing Qian. Chapter 127. The young man's expression stopped, and he quickly turned on the speakerphone. Ling Feng took a deep breath and said with his mouth, hurry up and apologize to people for making a mistake. The male voice paused, then raised his voice again. Hello. The young man cleared his throat and deliberately asked, excuse me, are you the Duke of Miston? Excuse me, are you His Royal Highness Duke of Miston? There was silence for a while, and suddenly he spoke again. Yes, call me that. Are you the second child? Very fluent Chinese. The young man was stunned. Isn't he from the Principality of Miston? How can you speak Chinese so fluently? Who is the second child? Okay, how many times have I said that I don't want to fall in love? The man's tone was obviously a lot more irritable. Can you tell him to stop introducing me to a partner? The master doesn't urge marriage, he urges him. Does he bother him? Are you bothered? The young man stammered, hold, sorry, but I'm not. May I ask you? Not from the second child. The man's voice paused, and then became a little colder. Is that the third child? Can you let her find a partner first and then take care of me? I'm too embarrassed to say that I am the person with the highest emotional intelligence in my teacher's family. I've been single for so many years. I'm not ashamed. What else did the young man say? Just at this moment, another sentence of standard English came from the other end of the phone. Not to mention youth, Ling Feng also understood. Indeed. The king invites you to the study to discuss important matters. Apparently a servant. The man was still angry, and said coldly, "You too. Let him solve it himself." The servant apologized repeatedly and went down quickly. The young man was completely stupid with his mobile phone. "I'll hang up if I have nothing to say." The man's tone was annoyed. "It's so annoying, I'll scold them in a while. How can I give out my private mobile phone number?" Beep beep. The icy mechanical sound made the young man shudder. He raised his head sharply. "Ling, Sister Ling, S.I., Miss S.I. She. He made the call on a whim. Even if the other party is acting, they don't bring such completeness, and what is the benefit? Impersonating the royal family in the Principality of Miston is against the law. Does S.I. fucking really have Duke Miston's personal mobile phone number? How did I teach you when you entered the industry? Ling Feng said coldly, "You have to be calm when you are in trouble. How can you be a lawyer when you are shocked?" The young man opened his mouth. "Sister Ling, Are you young and energetic? You're out of your mind." Ling Feng slowly exhaled. "I'll go to Miss S.I. to apologize to me later." The young man bowed his head, very ashamed, and completely convinced. "I see." He followed Ling Feng into the car, and his mind was still a mess. He was stunned by the man on the other end of the phone. The young man was in a trance, and some couldn't come back to his senses. Who is this second child and the third child, who is bold enough to introduce someone to Duke Miston? The young man didn't dare to think about it, and tried his best to calm his heartbeat. At this time, in a single apartment. S.I. fucking finished packing his luggage. "I'm going on a business trip in a while. Put the plaster for you there. It should be enough." Su Yang hesitated. "You live in this kind of place?" S.I. fucking looked up and said, "What's wrong with this place? It's small and delicate, and most importantly, it's cheap. It's better to find a community with stronger confidentiality." Su Yang frowned. "If there are too many fans, there will inevitably be illegitimate meals, and your black fans, really? No one can match, right?" S.I. fucking lazily didn't care. "Aren't you leaving Link Hung?" "I have no fixed place to live." Su Yang shook his head. "Since you are in Link Hung, then I will live here for a while." S.I. fucking paused. "I don't think you live without a fixed place." Su Yang was confused. S.I. fucking glanced at him. "You have so much money now that you have bought a few houses in every state, so you can live in no fixed place." Su Yang. He couldn't take this shit. No topic. S.I. fucking regretted. "I'm leaving, I'll be back on Sunday, and then I'll have another meal." Su Yang nodded. "Okay, I'll send you off." "No." S.I. fucking pointed to Shang Lu, who was standing at the door. "I have an assistant, you should rest well." Su Yang just left. Shang Lu helped S.I. fucking to lift the suitcase. He said cautiously, "Miss S.I., I heard that Feng Feng said that you took 2 billion from Zhou's family. How can you have no money?" "What do you mean?" "I donated it a few days after I got it, so I'm poor now." S.I. fucking sighed. "Who would have known that I would meet dog things again? I would have saved some for myself." Her fists hardened. Xiaobai's innocent face. "Ow." Shang Lu was shocked. All donated?" "Well, yes." S.I. fucking casually said, "I have built several nursing homes and Hope Primary School. What do I need so much money for?" Shang Lu fell into silence. Miss S.I. likes money, but this liking is really special, which makes people very incomprehensible. 2 billion. For Qin Junmen, it is not a small sum of money, but if it is said to donate, it will be donated. Shang Lu followed S.I. fucking to bring him downstairs. "I happened to meet Ling Feng, who got off the bus." Miss S.I. Ling Feng stepped forward, very apologetically. "We're here to apologize to you. I'm really sorry." "Apologize?" Si fucking stopped. What's the matter? Ling Feng recounted what happened. That's it, I made a phone call without your permission, Miss Si. Miss Si, I'm sorry, the young man bowed a few times. I've never believed in you very much, I'm sorry. Oh, Si fucking was very interested. It got through? Then what did he say? The young man was stunned, and quickly repeated what he had heard, and then apologized again. Miss Si, I'm sorry. I don't dare anymore. Blind date? Introducing a partner? It's really a difficult life. Si fucking sighed. Okay, I'll introduce him some objects another day. I like to see his face darken the most. Youth. WTF. Miss Si is going on a business trip, so we won't disturb you. Ling Feng gave the young man a warning look. I wish you a safe journey. Si fucking nodded. Okay, you have worked hard these days. Miss Si is polite. Ling Feng smiled. Mister, you paid the money, we should serve you. But there are also personal reasons. She sincerely admires Si fucking and is willing to help with public relations. Si fucking waved his hand, got in the car and left. Linkhung International Airport. Zhang Changning only carried a bag, which was simple and did not bring any extras. After Si fucking and her met, the two went to the rest area to wait. Because there were only 2 tickets, Shang Lu and Xiaobai were both driven to Yu Xian's private jet. Feng San gave him a sideways look. Yo, I can't fly a plane. How could Qin Junmen be so poor that they don't even have a private jet? Shang Lu glared angrily. Yu Xian held the fan and said lightly, okay. Feng San snorted coldly and entered the cockpit. Yu Xian raised her head and looked at the plane taking off in front of her. Her voice was slow. The route remains the same, and I will follow in a while. Feng San responded, okay. Shang Lu could only crouch humbly on the ground. He clenched his fists and secretly decided. When he got back, he asked Zhang Shuiyan to approve some funds to buy a plane to practice flying. On the plane ahead, Si fucking sat in the seat inside, watching the scenery leisurely. This is the first time she has taken such a slow plane, and it feels quite different. After a while, the stewardess came over with the dining cart. Hello, do you want Coke, coffee, or orange juice? Si fucking raised his head, and the fox's eyes were curved. Coke, thank you. The flight attendant was surprised. She bent down, handed the cola over, and asked in a low voice, is that teacher Si? It's me. Si fucking raised his head, pulled the mask off and put it on again, reaching out and making a silent gesture. Don't alarm the others, okay? Okay, okay. The flight attendant was a little excited, barely holding back her emotions. Can Mr. Si sign my name? I'm a fan of yours. Many celebrities have taken the flight she was on. But the stars are all in first class, and it's not her turn to serve. Si fucking took out a signed photo from the bag and handed it over. Yanfen, you have a good eye, here it is. The stewardess put it in her pocket and pushed the dining cart onwards. Zhang Changning joked, it seems that you have taken off your makeup, and you really have a lot of fans, but your strength is not bad, and you have performed well in the past 2 days. Let's take one step at a time. Si fucking looked lazy. Maybe one day I will stand up completely. Blindfolds, blankets, and more. Zhang Changning handed over a small bag. Sleep for a while. Si fucking nodded and took it. The plane flew smoothly. After taking a break, the stewardess took out the autographed photo that Si fucking gave her, and was very satisfied. The male flight attendant next to him smiled. What are you looking at, so happy? Secret. The stewardess put the photo away again. I must post a Weibo when I get off the plane. The male flight attendant didn't ask, and prepared dinner for the evening. The plane entered high altitude, and there were clouds below. But I don't know when it started, the clouds began to darken and thicken, and the sky became foggy and darker. The flight attendant noticed the abnormality, and she looked out the window with some worry. Looking at the weather, you won't encounter strong air currents, right? It was fine just now, why did the sky suddenly change? These are checked before the plane departs. The weather has become sudden. Don't worry, the male flight attendant said, the captain is very capable, and the airflow is very common, so there will be no accident. The flight attendant nodded uneasily, I'll go to the passenger area for a walk. At the same moment when the weather outside the window changed, Si suddenly opened his eyes. Next to Zhang Changning has fallen into a deep sleep. Si fastened her seat belt, pressed her neck again, and stood up after confirming that she was completely drowsy. The flight attendant who came in saw it, and her expression changed. Miss. The plane is unstable now, miss, please sit down. Ah. The plane shook violently, apparently being hit by a strong air current. The stewardess fell to the ground, staring at her eyes. At the same time, an alarm sounded in the cabin. Ladies and gentlemen, the plane is affected by the airflow and has obvious turbulence. Please sit in your seat and fasten your seat belt. The passengers panicked and grabbed the handles next to the seats. Where there are obvious bumps, it is clearly earthquake level shaking. Si was already in the corridor. She lifted the stewardess up with one hand, pressed it to a seat, and her voice sank, sit down. The flight attendant's eyes darkened, and she could barely see the girl walking forward. Si came to the junction of economy class and first class, and several flight attendants fell to the ground, obviously knocked unconscious. Her fox eyes narrowed, and she held the bathroom door with force. Crack. The door lock snapped open. There was a sharp voice, who? The middle-aged man who was arranging the formation turned back suddenly. When he saw a young girl, he was surprised at first, and then sneered, it turns out that you destroyed my formation. He could only determine the general location of Si, but did not know her age and gender. Very good, I don't need to look for it, you brought it to the door yourself. The middle-aged head turner looked gloomy, but if you fell into the trap earlier, I wouldn't have to let a whole plane of people bury you with you. Funeral, Si raised his hand, calmly, it's just you. She raised her hand, drew a few times on the cold fog-filled window, and took another breath. It is vaguely visible that it is some kind of pattern, which outlines a small pattern. SHH. As soon as the array diagram lit up, the explosion sounded again, and the array diagram drawn by the middle-aged head-turning teacher turned dark all of a sudden. It was also the moment when the formation was broken, the thunderstorm sounded down, and the plane left the impact of the airflow and gradually stabilized. The expression of the middle-aged head descender changed. No, you. Yes, I'm a little confident, of course you know me. Si turned his head, because I used another name when I met you last time. She took a step further, locked the middle-aged head descendant's throat with one hand, and with a bang, directly pressed his head against the glass window and smashed it hard. Come on, say my name. Si said, you know. Xiaoyu's family, father, mother, kindness and filial piety. Ching Ching Shimin, brothers, friends, and brothers. Ask for a sweet monthly pass on Valentine's Day, see you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 128. Her tone was unhurried and calm. It's the complete opposite of the ruthless movements in her hands. The middle-aged head-lowering teacher's head was pressed against the hard glass. He only felt a buzzing sound in his brain, blood oozing from his ears, and his five senses were blurred a lot. He could no longer understand Si words. Onmyoji are weak, this is a well-known truth in their circle. Therefore, most Onmyoji will rely on external means such as shikigami and formations to enhance their self-protection ability. After all, God is fair, giving Onmyoji the huge power of yin-yang and five elements, it will not give them a strong physique. Even if Onmyoji practitioners practice fighting, they will not be able to perform due to their lack of physical strength after using the power of yin and yang and 5 elements. How could there be an Onmyoji who broke his formation yesterday and could still control him? The middle-aged Onmyoji learned that the killer sent by Pei Zhen failed to kill the Onmyoji who opposed him, so he began to search for its location again and found it at the airport. For the first time, he took it for granted that the Onmyoji was about to escape, and he naturally got on the plane by some means. It's just that his strength is not good, and he can't determine the specific position. In the end, he can only choose to attack the whole aircraft. For the middle-aged head-turning master, these people will die when they die, and they have nothing to do with him. In the boundless fear, his head was raised again and smashed down. The voice behind him was cold, "Speak." The middle-aged head-lowering teacher stared, his voice hoarse, almost unbelievable, You are Yu Wu. In this circle, there is no one who has not heard of Yu Wuming. No Onmyoji could see her true face, only that she was very young. Yu Wu is completely different from other Onmyoji, she is a fighting type, and she is not very good in Feng Shui. It's not that there is no Onmyoji who has dedicated her path, but they have all hit a wall. No one knows Yu Wu's teacher, let alone how she became an Onmyoji. But how is this possible? The first time he saw Yu Wu was very young, definitely not over 20 years old. How come 6 or 7 years have passed, and Yu Wu is still so young? Yes, Onmyoji does have the means to stop his appearance and has the ability to change his appearance. How could he ignore this? The middle-aged head-lowering teacher broke out in cold sweat, and his clothes were all wet. He actually met Yu Wu. What a joke. If he knew that it was Yu Wu who helped Pei Yan's family, he would not dare to give him 100 courage. But Yu Wu, when will you interfere in such ordinary people's affairs? Very good, I know. Sci-fi tilted his head and smiled, you are quite capable. Over the past few years, the means of formation have improved, and you can harm a plane's people. With a thump, the middle-aged head-turner lost his strength. His legs softened and he knelt directly on the ground. Senior Yu Wu. Senior Yu Wu, spare your life. I didn't know that Senior Yu Wu was here, I should be damned. The middle-aged head-turner clearly knows the gap between him and the real Onmyoji. Because he didn't pass the Onmyoji's trial, he went the wrong way and became a head-lowering teacher, which is far worse than the real Onmyoji. Not to mention, standing in front of him now is Yu Wu, who is known as the first combat power in the yin-yang world. He's done, it must be done. If you offend Yu Wu, you will be disabled if you don't die. I let you go once, do you think I can let you go a second time? I fucking said lightly, you really shouldn't let someone on a plane have an accident. She let go, but switched feet. Boom. The head of the middle-aged head descender was pressed into the toilet. If you don't do this, don't do it. I'll give you the last bit of strength so that you can get off the plane by yourself, and don't bother other people. I fucking bowed his head, there are my fans on this plane, be careful. Of course, if you want to be taken away by people from the occupational authority because of too much movement, I can also satisfy you. I fucking then straightened up and left the bathroom. She took a slow breath and wiped the sweat from her forehead with a paper. Sure enough, she opened her eyes and survived, but the explosion still brought substantial mental damage to her. Spirit is very important to Onmyoji. After breaking 2 formations in a row, she felt exhausted. I fucking rested beside him. Mr. Si, the stewardess came in, her head was still a little dizzy, and she held the cabinet next to her. Mr. Si, are you alright? I'm fine. Si fucking squeezed her wrist, calmly checked her pulse, and smiled, I had an upset stomach just now, so I wanted to go to the toilet. Is your colleague too tired? It looks like he's fallen asleep. The flight attendant was stunned for a while, and when she lowered her head, she saw the other flight attendants who had passed out. No. They have all been flying for several years and have experienced various emergencies. How could they have made such a mistake that they were so tired that they fell asleep? Give them a cup of coffee to refresh themselves. I fucking patted her on the shoulder. I'll go back first. The flight attendant watched her leave in confusion. Several flight attendants lying on the ground also woke up leisurely. After listening to the flight attendant's remarks, they all felt very incredible. But they did pass out suddenly, and there was no other excuse to explain it. The male flight attendant gave a wry smile. Alas, I will be severely punished when I go back. At the same time, on a private jet on the same route, ninth brother, Feng San glanced at the detection screen and couldn't help but lose his voice. Why is there only a storm around Miss C's plane? Yu Xian looked up suddenly, and saw dark clouds gathered ahead, thunderstorms and thunderstorms. The plane at the center of the storm was teetering. But the strange thing is that it is still a clear sky after 100 meters. Onmyoji. Not an onmyoji, or at least a head descender. Ninth brother, it must be the head turner who did something to Miss Si. Feng San became anxious. What can we do? We couldn't do anything on the plane. How many people died when the plane crashed? Yu Xian's eyes were cold and her brows were wrinkled for the first time. Trust her. Feng San was stunned. Looking at the detection screen again, the warning system indicated that the airflow was reduced and the storm was fading. Feng San breathed a sigh of relief. Why did I forget that Miss Si is an onmyoji? He was really ashamed that he didn't believe that Si fucking could solve it by himself. Shanglu was even more shocked. What did you say? Onmyoji. What's the fuss about? Feng San glanced at him. Is there anything in this world that Miss Si can't? Shanglu. Is this the same thing as fighting and singing? Onmyoji needs talent. Effort without talent is in vain. Shanglu stammered. So Miss Si is actually Ji's family. Daxia declined after Emperor Yin left, and it was true that the Ji family began to retreat gradually. The Mo family and the Qinjun League also didn't know why the Ji family could not escape from the world. It shouldn't be. Feng San thought for a while. Ninth brother, you said that the person Mr. Shen's family is looking for is Miss Si. They have also been in Linkhung for a long time, and they have not found any other onmyoji. Until the last dark cloud dissipated, Yu Xian raised her eyebrows and nodded her approval. Then do you want to tell him? Feng San asked. I think they are looking for it in a hurry. Yu Xian propped her head up, her brows warm. Why tell him? Whether he has no hands or feet, I can't find out. Feng San. Being Zhu Ji's niece and friend is very hard work. After another hour of flight, the plane landed smoothly at Mexico City International Airport. Ning Ning, get up. Si fucking pinched Zhang Changning's face. Sleep like a pig. Zhang Changning woke up after being pinched, still a little confused. I slept all the way. Yeah, I can't wake you up even if you scream. Si fucking took it easy. Tell me honestly, what have you been doing lately? It's as if your body was hollowed out. Of course she wouldn't tell Zhang Changning that she did it all. Zhang Changning hesitated for a few seconds, but still believed. Otherwise, there is really no way to explain why she fell asleep all the way. All passengers got off the plane. With a bang, the bathroom door opened. The middle-aged head descender slumped on the ground, his face covered in sweat. He stood up on the toilet lid, his legs shaking. The flight attendant also discovered that there was another person here. She looked at the trembling appearance of the middle-aged head-lowering teacher in confusion, and stepped forward. Sir, do you need help? Why are you in the toilet? Hearing this sentence, almost instantly, the middle-aged head descendant quickened his pace. He staggered, took his last breath, his eyes darkened, and he collapsed outside the airport. This little episode made the stewardess record one more stroke. Today is really scary. The flight attendant wiped her sweat. I almost won't be able to come back. The weather was too strange, it changed. I think so too. The male flight attendant lowered his voice. Just now the first officer came over and said that there is only a storm around our plane, not front and rear. They fly forward, and the storm follows. Are you saying it's evil? The flight attendant was shocked. Is there such a thing? Isn't it? The male flight attendant shook his head. So we don't have to fly for a few days. The company will take a holiday and study what's going on today. The flight attendant drank a glass of water to calm down, then took out her mobile phone and made a post on Weibo Kahua. Meet teacher SI on the plane. I actually sat in the economy class, otherwise I wouldn't have seen it. I got a signed photo, and it has a photo. Am I the first? The mooses heard the news. It's sour, this woman who doesn't even post a selfie, actually carries a signed photo with her. Woo woo woo, another day of envy. Teacher SI still has to announce the recording of the program. Did TNL Media deliberately make her both sides unpleasant? What a heart. What is taboo in the entertainment industry is the act of rolling, an artist taking on multiple shows at the same time. Economy class. It's not that the economy class is bad, but TNL Media cannot let the members of the same group be treated so differently. When Meng Shui rushed to make the announcement, the private jet could be activated. How could it be the economy class when it arrived at Ching? Really pissed off. Look at it and wait for the day when the contract is terminated. However, if you are quite frugal, what is economy class? Do you know what transport she takes to get home from work? What? Bus? Subway? However, it seems that there is no public transportation over the training base, and the nearest station is 2 kilometers away. After a few seconds, the host replied. Share bicycles. The bottom one. After a while, MUSI sent a comment tremblingly. As expected of you, wife. Here, SI fucking and Zhang Changning left the airport. There was a lot of traffic at the airport, and the two left with ordinary passengers without causing any gatherings. Let's go eat first. SI fucking glanced at the time. Regretfully, I didn't even taste what the airplane meal tasted like. Because of the unexpected situation, the passengers were afraid that the plane would crash, and the flight attendant was knocked out by the middle-aged head turner, and dinner was not ready. Zhang Changning pulled the suitcase. Okay, there are quite a lot of snacks here in Machan. When will the other two arrive? SI fucking stretched. Long time no see. They should be here. Zhang Changning frowned. You stay away from them. You used to be less popular than them, and they all bullied you. Now you have more fans than them, and they will be more jealous. The group of Starry Sky Girls is actually to support Meng Shui alone. Everyone else is a foil. As a foil, I can only step on the worse SI fucking to satisfy the sense of gap in my heart. SI fucking waved lazily. I see, wife Ning Ning, why are you so good? Zhang Changning smiled. Why is there such a scumbag girl who doesn't even look at gender? The two of them didn't have much luggage and went directly to the restaurant. As soon as SI fucking finished ordering, he received a call from Yutang. Ching, I'm so pissed off, just the rubbish you knocked offline yesterday. He posted a video of piking with me on the forum, saying that I hung up. Huh, SI fucking narrowed his eyes. Trash is trash, it will only make excuses for himself. She unscrewed a bottle of Coke and opened the Oracle forum. The homepage of the forum is the post that Yutang said, and the video posted in it clearly shows that Yutang was hanged and beaten at first, and then suddenly the situation was reversed. The chat records in the game are naturally also recorded on the screen. What is the landlord? I'm a girl, come, you and I come to PK, you see, I don't kill all your equipment and drop it. Laughing to death, the landlord probably ran away, but I didn't expect a bunch of goddesses on the leaderboard to explode. The person who posted this is incompetent and furious, right? Can Oracle still have a plugin? You look for hackers from T18 and 0, but you can't research the plugin system. But someone patiently watched all the videos. Wait, damn, What kind of hand speed are you watching the last few PK videos? When will pharmacists be able to operate such hand speed? Are you playing your nurse as a soldier? This hand speed soared to 300, right? Old players still remember where the most awesome part of 9 is. It's his trick. Every time he makes a new combo, the game officially starts to show it, but we don't have the speed of 9, so his combo can only be seen with eyes. I even suspect that 9 is looking for a place on his girlfriend's account. Sci-fi was thoughtful. Does this work too? This group of old players has a good eye. Okay, I've remembered his ID. Sci-fi comforted you Tang. Next time I'll kill him with my number, take his turn to the first level, and let him retire directly. When the call ended, another message popped up on the phone. Gee, God 9, Yawu-sama, you won't take my sister behind my back, will you? 9, what's the problem? Bringing a sister at least has a sense of accomplishment. What do you have with you? Gee, no, I dare not. The Principality of Miston is thousands of miles away from the Great Xia Empire. The young man came out of the bedroom in pajamas with a gloomy expression. The servant was extremely respectful. His Royal Highness, lunch is ready. The young man waved his hand. It will be over in a while. The servant hurriedly backed away. Ever since His Royal Highness received a phone call a few hours ago, he has been in a bad mood. Dare not provoke. The young man took a shower, sat down at the dining table, grabbed his mobile phone and dialed a number to go out. After connecting, a deep voice sounded, "Hello." I said, "What are you doing, second child?" The young man's voice became irritable again. "Why did you give my private mobile phone number to the marriage agency?" After a pause there, they all laughed. "Lou, are you out of your mind? What am I doing with giving your private number to the marriage agency?" "I'm crazy," the young man sneered. "Then tell me, besides you and the third child, who else knows my personal mobile phone number?" "It's not you, not her, but a ghost. It's only the two of you who are committed to introducing me to someone. You are so annoying. If it weren't for the brothers and sisters from the same sect, he would have beaten them long ago. What's more, he has a lot of mobile phone numbers, and there are 3 or 4 private mobile phone numbers. Only this, the confidentiality is the strongest. It has never been disclosed to the public, and only a few people with good relationships know it." As soon as the sentence came out, the other party fell silent, and the breathing sound was obvious. The young man frowned. "Second child. If it's not a ghost, of course there is another person," the other party said slowly. "Little junior sister. Happy Lantern Festival, baby. Remember to eat glutinous rice balls." Kinking's current pseudonyms are a foreshadowing. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 129. Hearing this sentence, the young man also fell silent. A few seconds later, he asked tentatively, "You mean that even though the little sister has already ascended to immortality, she still misses me in heaven, and then uses brainwaves or thoughts to pass on my phone number to others?" The conversation fell silent again. But this time, the other side of the phone was completely silent. After a long while, the other party smiled. "Lou, you are really good enough. Why don't you dream more?" "Isn't that what you said?" The young man grabbed his hair and became irritable again. "It's not the little junior sister I mentioned. Don't you mean there is a ghost?" Other side. After a while of silence, he said slowly, "I mean, remove all the impossible options, then maybe someone dialed the wrong number." "Impossible," the young man said categorically. "The man asked me if I was the Duke of Miston as soon as he came up. Could this be a mistake?" "That's it," the other party thought thoughtfully. "Compared to the little junior sister who turned into a ghost and passed on your phone number with your mind, I believe it is your idea of starting a family that moved the world and sent your phone number. Passed to the marriage agency. Second. No one can take care of you without the senior brother and the junior sister, right? The young man gritted his teeth. Also, you still have the face to mention the junior sister? It's been 3 years, have you found the source of the explosion? No. You have free time to introduce me to someone. I'll find out. The other party's voice became cold. I said, this matter will never end. Do. The phone was hung up. The young man looked at the phone silently. He looked at the string of unfamiliar numbers that had called him earlier, pondered for 2 seconds, and called again. After a few beeps, the other party hung up. He persisted in calling again. This time the other party shut down directly. Young people. Row. Backbone. Check it out. The young man handed the phone to the housekeeper. Which area is this number, and accurately locate me on the street. The housekeeper took it and glanced at it. His Royal Highness, it belongs to the Daxia Empire. I will ask T18 in which district. Young man waving. The butler took the order. Daxia. The young man frowned, picked up the knife and fork, and said to himself, it seems that I haven't been there. I'll take a look when things are done. Let him see which hapless bastard is playing him. Here, Mexico City. Sci-Fi and Zhang Changning had dinner and went to the hotel they had booked. Still a very ordinary standard room. But in terms of food, clothing, housing, and transportation, there is no requirement for her boss to help her. For her, it is enough to have a bed to sleep on. After all, no matter how bad the hotel is, it's much better than when she went around and teamed up with the third sister to sleep on the street. Sci-Fi just got the room card when he received a call. It was revealed that Ling Feng was calling, but the assistant lawyer beside her spoke. S.I., Miss S.I. The young man was hesitant, more panicked, than what, His Royal Highness Duke Miston, called me, and called me several times. I was too scared, so I turned off the phone. If he was told that the call was really Duke Miston, he wouldn't dare to make a call. It's over, he must be on the blacklist of the Principality of Miston. Got it. Sci-Fi was not surprised, and his tone was calm. Do your own business well. Yes, the young man dared not to obey, and apologized repeatedly. I will never do such a stupid thing again, everything is subject to Miss S.I. Even now, he still couldn't understand how Sci-Fi got in touch with Duke Miston. But Ling Feng warned him not to speak out, and he could only close his mouth tightly and swallow in his stomach. Zhang Changning turned his head. What happened? It's nothing. Sci-Fi tossed his phone. Go find someone to defraud money in a few days. She has studied the pharmaceutical technology of the Pei family group, and it is not bad in the Daxia Empire. Maybe she can really let her sixth senior brother invest. Who are you lying to? Zhang Changning has been able to follow his boss fucking's divine turn. Your boss. No. Sci-Fi smiled lazily, a poor single dog. Zhang Changning shook his head. She really didn't understand what kind of people were gathered around Sci-Fi. The elevator went up to the 16th floor, and the two went out to the front of room 1618. Just swiped the card. With a click, the lock next door turned and the door opened. Two girls came out. Fucking, Changning, you are the only ones here. One of the girls showed a smile, but she didn't smile. Have you eaten? This time the hotel's buffet has been accepted, but we can't eat more, we are idols. To keep in shape. Sci-Fi dragged the suitcase into the room without giving him any eyes. Don't laugh if you can't laugh, the prosthesis is about to fall off. The girl's face turned green. Sci-Fi, what are you talking about? Another girl group member threw the garbage bag heavily on the ground. Do you think you've finally become so popular that you can be so arrogant? How many did Sister Shue pick up? First line endorsement. Not as big as you. Not only do I have a big air, But I can also do it. Si fucking stretched out his hand and patted her face. Be good. With a bang, the door was closed. The two girls were left with ashen faces and looked at each other in dismay. In the room, Zhang Changning sighed and had some headaches. I really shouldn't worry about you. As soon as your nature is exposed, who would dare to bully you? That's still there. Si fucking flexed his shoulders. I'll go to my boss's place. I should be back before 12 o'clock, or maybe not. I'll announce tomorrow morning and see you at the scene. Zhang Changning nodded, also quite worried. Can Si fucking take so many jobs? She mused. Otherwise, would she cut some of the grass her father planted and sell it to help Si fucking? Even if she cut a few pieces, her father wouldn't find out. Zhang Changning silently decided. Meanwhile, in the next room, the faces of the two girls were still very ugly. Xiaoxi, I don't know, Si fucking is really different from before. The first girl frowned. I thought she was doing a show on the show. Yeah, it's not easy for people to bully them now, Sen Xiaoxi said with a yin and yang peculiarity. De Xiaoxinyan, such a high honor, even a few top women have never been blown like this. Zhang Changning used to protect her. The girl curled her lips. I guess she has seen Si fucking's true face, or else why would she be nice to Si fucking for no reason? Where there are real friends in the entertainment industry, they are all interests. Maybe I also want to rub the Zhou family. Sen Xiaoxi was very disdainful. I once saw a member of Zhang Changning's family, carrying a snakeskin bag, which was not even fruit, but grass, and the family was very dilapidated at first sight. It's a pity that Si fucking broke up with the Zhou family. The girl smiled. Zhang Changning can't even rub her. Hey, come and see, Sen Xiaoxi suddenly said. Is this the plane they were on today? The girls come over. Screenshots of the plane being besieged by the storm were playing on the phone. It's amazing that the storm has only so little range, but it just follows the plane. Sen Xiaoxi gloated. Look, retribution is coming. They are really uneasy along the way. Really, why didn't the thunder really land and kill her? In the past, Si fucking was not pleasing to the eye, because Si fucking had no ability to bully him. Now it's because of jealousy. Okay, let's not say such things. The girl shrugged. When the announcement is recorded, she will be revealed. After practicing abroad for 3 years, only the members of the Starry Sky Girls group know Si fucking's abilities best. Sen Xiaoxi felt a little better. She was the vice captain, and Meng Shui was not there, so the resources were naturally on her. It will never be Si fucking's turn. Sen Xiaoxi then browsed other videos, but didn't realize that the video just appeared for 10 seconds before it was deleted. At the same time, North State. In a villa. The woman is sitting on the sofa and is answering the phone. The video has been deleted, but it was indeed seen by some people, and the details are under investigation. The woman's brows and eyes were cold. What about the notification? Respectfully, on the other end of the phone, preliminary estimation, it is someone like the descendant who led the storm, not the energy burst of the evolutionary. There is no picture in the monitor on the plane, and it is estimated that it was also affected by the storm. It's here, we can't take a picture of who did it for the time being. From the scope of the storm, the diameter of the storm is 120 meters, and we are positioning it as an E-level event, because if it happens in a city, a storm of this level cannot cause much damage. The woman nodded. Okay, the level of this matter is not high, first catch the person. Clear. Call ended. The woman puts down her phone and concentrates on the TV show. There was a replay of Youth and Youth on TV, and the camera was swept up to see Si fucking playing the bass. When she saw Si fucking's face, she froze for a while, but soon returned to normal. The housekeeper trotted in and said in a low voice, "Madam, the young master called home and specifically asked when you were free." After 2 episodes of the show he participated in, there was a link where the family appeared and called, to see if you had time to shoot video. Let him get out, the woman sneered. Don't you want to go to the entertainment industry by yourself? Go ahead, who dares to help him, and now I'll let who knows why the flowers are so popular today. Her hands clapped on the table. Crack. The table was split in half. A few seconds later, there was another crackling sound, which turned into powder directly. The housekeeper shut his mouth, cold sweat broke out, and his mind almost stopped when he looked at the sawdust on the ground. He didn't dare to say that the design manuscripts that you treasured, madam, were stolen by the young master. He was afraid that his wife would directly dye today's flowers with his blood. What's the matter? Mrs. Wenzu is coming to Daxia. The housekeeper wiped his sweat and reported another message. Do you need to contact me and see you later? Mr. Gu, Msya was surprised. Why did he suddenly come to Daxia? The housekeeper lowered his voice. I don't know at the moment, but based on the information, it will definitely not be a trivial matter to alarm him. Msya said coldly, what nonsense. Housekeeper. He was called stupid. Go out, Msya waved, don't disturb me watching TV. The butler surreptitiously glanced at the TV show, somewhat confused. Isn't this the one the young master attended? Although the lady is quite violent, she is still duplicitous in nature. Ugh. Forget it, about the family appearance, he should ask Mr. But Mr. always only listens to Mrs. The butler sighed. He was worried for the life of the young master. At 9 o'clock in the evening, Sci-fi arrived at Uzian's villa in Machen. She put down her bag and asked, do you have a computer? Yes, Feng San wondered, but it shouldn't be as fast as your laptop, Miss Si. Ah, I'm playing a game, but the laptop system can't bring it up. Si said, I need a gaming laptop. Feng San nodded and suddenly realized, yes, it's upstairs. Si went upstairs, chose a room to go in, sat down in front of the computer, and called Yu Tang, Tang, I'm online. I've been waiting for you in the main city, Ching Ching. You don't know, those people in the forum really know how to spread the word. Yu Tang was weak. Today, my private mailbox exploded, and many people actually asked me if I was the god of 9. Girlfriend. What if I am so bad at technology? And what if God 9 is an uncle? I don't like uncles. Si paused and raised his eyebrows. I found you. Oh, Yu Tang returned to her senses. Where is it? Si said slowly, ahead of you. Don't you want to play swordsman? It just so happens that I am a swordsman in the tuba, so it's convenient to teach you. In front of me. The swordsman in the silver mask turned his head. Yu Tang looked up and saw the golden nickname on the swordsman's head. Pit Mother Good Hand, Xia Yu. Pit Father and Good Hand, Zhang Changning. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 130. The golden nickname is a privilege only for full-level players. Oracle has been running for 9 years, and full-level players are no longer a minority. So the color is not the point is the nickname. 9. In addition, Yu Tang also clearly saw the title on this nickname. 1 Sword Frost and Frost 14 states. The Oracle Eastern and Western camps add up to 24 occupations. Correspondingly, only one player in each occupation can get the judgment of this occupation, which represents the peak combat effectiveness of this occupation. Duplicate names are not allowed in Oracle, although many players will use some special blank symbols to change to 9 to gain popularity, but this unique title can never be faked. Yu Tang stood up abruptly, almost knocking over the computer. Her voice was trembling. Ching Ching, you. Once killed all over the eastern continent, and after retreating, he became the legendary 9 god in the mouth of the old players, and he appeared in front of her so vividly. She is blind. Yu Tang finally choked out a sentence. You play male account. It's not intentional, I just like this profession, it's convenient to beat people. I fucking frowned. The thing that makes me dissatisfied with this broken game is that gender and profession are bound. The female swordsman is also very handsome. It took 3 full minutes for Yu Tang to accept that Nine was a woman and was Si fucking. Because Nine has never participated in offline gatherings of players, and rejected all media invitations, there are many speculations about Nine's god in the game forum, but it is agreed that Nine must be a man. Nine's hand speed far exceeds the players of the national team, and there is not a single woman in the national first team. In the second team, there are 2 female players whose hand speed can reach 300, but the highest hand speed record of Nine God is 560. Compete with several top professional players abroad. But ching, didn't the account of Nine God exist when Oracle was launched? After Yu Tang was excited, her mind began to turn, and she stammered, You were only 9 years old at that time. Age. At the age of 9, he became the number 1 master in the whole server? Yu Tang felt that her worldview had collapsed. Si fucking. Age really sucks. This person is young again, and there are indeed many things that cannot be explained. Esports players all started training when they were young. Si fucking said nonsense. Seriously, look at those youth training teams, aren't they all 14 or 15 years old? The youngest is 16 years old for international competitions. I'm just a little bit more talented than them. Wow, Yu Tang stared in admiration, you are so amazing, then. How can you be such a genius? Si fucking held his head and sighed, feeling a little unbearable. Fortunately, compared with Su Yang, the same words are more deceiving when used on Tang Tang. No need to explain any further. But she was indeed 18 when she started playing Oracle. Yu Tang slapped the table excitedly, Whoa, I'm going to reply to those sour chickens now, I'm the girlfriend of God 9. Si fucking. Yu Tang contentedly replied to a few private messages scolding her, and then happily followed behind Si fucking. The two practiced in the forest outside the main city. After practicing for half an hour, Si fucking stopped and walked around. Until she came to the lake deep in the forest. The pianist in white was leaning against the willow tree by the lake, not knowing if he had hung up and remained motionless. The familiar scene made Si fucking's DNA move. Tang Tang, wait a minute, I saw an enemy, I'll kill him first. She narrowed her eyes slightly, I'll teach you later when I have time. Although he only played for half an hour, Yu Tang was very satisfied. Okay, who is your enemy? It's the one in white and holding the chain. Si fucking started to operate with both hands. Last time I didn't agree to kill me. Look, how did I get back? 9, Yu Tang looked over, alas, it's all because of Uncle Ju. Now I see this Chinese character with shadows. The boss is so good, don't compare yourself to this despicable sneak attack. Si fucking pressed the skill button, kill me a piece of equipment, and I'll let you drop it too. On the screen, the swordsman raised his sword and slashed at the white-robed Qin master. Boom! The pianist in white fell to the ground instantly. A piece of equipment exploded next to it. Yu Tang manipulated the game character to applaud Si fucking, and the words amazing appeared on the top of his head. Yu Zion came out of the bathroom and saw such a scene. He paused and saw the little Lolita pharmacist who was applauding next to him. Nicknames are obvious. Begonia Flowers. Yu Tang. Yu Zion ignored her game character's corpse on the spot, picked up her mobile phone and made a call. The voice was mixed with joy and anger, Yu Tang. Ninth uncle, Yu Tang hurriedly closed the computer, I'm going to sleep right away, right away. On the internet in the future, pay attention to the online crowd. Yu Zion's tone was cool, before making friends, you should first understand the details of each other, especially the opposite sex. Don't think that the game character is handsome because he is handsome, and he is likely to be a homeless person. Yu Tang was at a loss. What is she doing online? Yu Tang couldn't fathom Yu Xian's attitude, so she could only accept the lecture humbly. Ninth uncle, what you said is right, I must understand it well, and never let anyone cheat my feelings and cheat me of money. Yu Xian said calmly, well, I don't believe in your IQ. Yu Tang was indignant. Ninth uncle, I have passed Xia University's independent enrollment, and I have also entered the international entrance examination. How can you insult my IQ? If it wasn't for her not wanting to go abroad, she would have taken the international entrance exam. You believe what anyone says, Yu Xian said lightly, I also play less games, and I don't even know if I've been cheated. Yu Tang agreed while thinking that she would not listen. Ninth uncle, you also have a good rest. She hangs up. Humph, she shouldn't tell her ninth uncle that Ching Ching is the god of nine, in the game and in reality, she always has to occupy King King's time. Call ended. Yu Xian finally looked at the computer, clicked resurrection and issued a skill at the same time. Zheng. The piano sounded, and the wind moved. Sci-fi kept staring at the corpse on the ground, so when the white-robed Qin master came back to life and shot, she noticed it. Boom. The sound waves from JYN collided with the blade. No one can help anyone. For 10 minutes, Sci-fi didn't kill the opponent again. Current 9, good boy, you can actually draw with me, okay, it's too late today, we'll fight again next time. Current 9, each other. Currently 9, I would also like to warn you that you can fool little girls on the internet without wearing a skin. Sci-fi. What happened to her flirting? Any questions? Could it be that she was playing games to tease Ji Xingzi? She prefers to flirt. Current 9, I understand, you are jealous of me, you see your name is so similar to mine, but it came out after I retired. It's a pity, the girl's just like me, what's the matter? Currently 9, your mind is indeed a little unclear. Current 9, you are just jealous, I don't have the same knowledge as you, so I'm leaving. In fact, the career of a violinist is similar to that of a pharmacist, both of which are auxiliary careers. But the pharmacist can kill people with poison, and the harpist can only heal. This game player can use the luthier's attack power to this extent, which is really amazing. Sci-fi decided to create another trumpet and train as a pianist. Knowing the enemy and knowing yourself can win 100 battles. In the same villa, they are separated by one floor. Upstairs, Yu Xian also clicked to exit. He frowned slightly. He has heard the name of 9 many times, but 9 first appeared on the server 9 years ago. It's almost 30 now, and he's a generation behind Yu Tang. He also knows that many people in the game worship the 9 god, and the filter is very deep. Gotta look good. Yu Xian put the cup on the table. The phone rang at this moment. The phone number is encrypted and the display is blank. Well, it's me. Yu Xian's expression did not fluctuate at all. Speak. That's right, sir. On the other side of the phone, the search chief's voice was respectful. We have been secretly protecting the safety of Mr. Gu Wenzu, but the law and order of Glen has always been good, and Mr. Gu is very safe. But just a few days ago, Mr. Gu took a plane to Daxia and met up with Chu Lingyun. Yu Xian raised her voice lightly, oh. After investigation, Mr. Gu asked us and the people from T18 to investigate the IP address of an email before departure. The other side continued, the exact location cannot be determined, and I don't know who sent it. We speculate that, firstly, knowing Mr. Gu's mailbox, and secondly, making him so excited, I am afraid it has something to do with Teacher Yunlin. It may be that Teacher Yunlin is coming back. Yu Xian's eyes moved slightly. Yunlin. It's not that he hasn't heard the name. He came to the modern world 10 years ago, 1500 years later, and he woke up in the Yu family. The situation is much the same as before. The clan factions are huge, disputes are constant, and brothers and sisters are killing each other. After more than 10 years of fighting, the war has already subsided, and it is not the era of the Great Xia dynasty. Zero was also created after that, so that he could master international intelligence. Even when he was not on the throne, Uzion habitually controlled the situation in his own hands. He has always been indifferent to the affairs of the entertainment industry, and he has also heard of Yunlin's name. There are so many international actresses, and Yunlin is the absolute #1 in terms of acting skills. Because in a Glen blockbuster, when several actors and actresses played against her, they NG a dozen times in a row and almost didn't survive. Her death is the regret of countless fans. And Uzion nodded slightly, then check it out. Yes, the inspector respectfully said, I will definitely investigate, but I will meet the people from T18 again. I think they are violent terrorists. Sir, we must step up the training of manpower, and sooner or later bring them down. It's over. It is said that the subordinates follow the master, so it can only be said that the upper beam of the T18 is not straight and the lower beam is crooked, and it is violent from beginning to end. Uzion supported her chin and smiled, T18 thinks so too. The search chief choked, then let's live together peacefully for the time being, it's so late, don't disturb MR. He ended the call and went to work. The next day, 9 in the morning. Zhang Changning walked out of the hotel door. Sci-fucking did not come back all night. She began to think about who the boss Sci-fucking was talking about, and why did she let a girl who was only a young adult stay home at night? Changning, why are you the only one? Didn't fucking come, the girl next to Senziasi smirked again, you two have such a good relationship, why is she separated from you? Or is she not going home at night? Zhang Changning has a cold temper and has always been too lazy to deal with it. He walked forward without saying a word. The girl bumped into a wall and couldn't hold back her smile. Don't pay attention to this poor and sour bastard. Senziasi took out her lipstick, you still want to have a good relationship with her, and put a hot face on her cold butt. I don't know what she is proud of, whether she has money or power in the family. The girl also sneered, originally, Sister Fen wanted to train her well, but she didn't live up to her expectations. She said it would be better to call it a Buddhist system. Can enter the entertainment circle, which one has no ambition. Zhang Changning is really an outlier. Because this time it was a group announcement, TNL Media was equipped with a nanny car and several assistants. 30 minutes later, the car arrived at the announcement location. There are many courtyards around. As the main city of Zhongzhou, Machan retains many buildings from the Great Xia dynasty, and many tourists come here to take pictures. Prepare a few teachers, we will start filming at 9:10. The staff came over, this is a headset, the footage is being broadcast live, and the camera equipment will be set up immediately. Why are there still extras to be filmed? Senziasi frowned, our announcement didn't include this, you have to say it in advance for the live broadcast. If it's a recording, you can edit her shortcomings later. What if the live broadcast reveals something? Ah, isn't this because Teacher SI is here? The staff was very excited, Mr. SI is very popular now, of course, we need to make more tidbits to increase traffic, hey, let's not talk about it, I will ask Teacher SI for a Zhang sign. As he walked, he muttered happily, Mr. SI is also very kind. He brought so many autographed photos. I have to hurry up. Only then did Senziasi realize that there were many people surrounding one person in front of him. It was Sci-fucking. She dresses very simply, with little makeup, just eyeshadow and light lipstick. Senziasi squeezed his fingers. Sci-fucking, it's Sci-fucking again. She hoped that Sci-fucking had always kept his heavy makeup on. What about the D6 men's team? Senziasi restrained his emotions, called another staff member and smiled, aren't we going to cooperate with them? After the idol trend set off, major brokerage companies are forming various men's and women's groups, and there are not a few people who return to China. The D6 boy group is a boy group that is booming at the moment, with a total of 6 members in the group. They should come over at 10 o'clock. The staff looked at the time, but the captain and vice captain may not come, after all. He paused and said nothing. After all, Meng Shui, the captain of Stargirl Group, didn't come either. Also Senzaisi can understand, then we will join them after filming. In her mind, she was already thinking about how to get involved with any member of the D6 men's group in the announcement in just 2 days, and then make a scandal to stir up CP. Her popularity can definitely surpass SI fucking again. At 9:11, the camera equipment is ready. The photographer glanced at his glasses and was stunned. Where's teacher SI? Over there, the assistant was sharp-eyed, a little uncertain. It's like watching the uncles play chess. Photographer. He walked over with the photography team, and found that, as expected, SI fucking was watching the 2 old men play chess attentively. Of course, Senzaisi will not miss any chance to appear on the screen. She stepped forward. Fucking knows chess, so seriously. It's okay. SI fucking hugged his arms and lowered his head. She often watched her senior brother and 8 senior brothers play chess. From chess to go, backgammon and flying chess have not been spared. The 2 men were so young and lived like the old man downstairs. It is the degree to which the passing ants will shake their heads when they see it. You'll be able to read it too much. Senzaisi smiled and pointed. Why didn't I know you could play chess? Fu Qing, we're all in the same group, so don't tell lies like this. Fans have already poured into the live room. Xiao Si upright character design, I love it. To be honest, the stars are thinking about how to maintain their figure and how to abuse fans all day long, and where do they have time to study the piano, chess, calligraphy, and painting? Laughing, actually pretending like this in front of the same group members, this time it overturned. What's going on? Ching Ching said she understands, she just understands. What are you beeping? If she can play chess, I will screw her head off. That's it, that Fu Qing is really good, you can see if you see it. Senzaisi laughed again, then you definitely know where to go next. Si fucking raised his head. Old man, I think you have been embarrassed for a long time. Senzaisi stepped forward and said with a smile, my friend is very good at chess, so let her try it. The old man, who was thinking hard about how to break the chess game, had a meal. Why did Juji never think that 9 was Ching Ching? The first is the male number that he likes to play, and the second is that he is not as easy to deceive as Yu Tang. He only feels that Yu Tang was deceived by the old man. Yu Tang, QWQ.